there a guy whose specific job it is to make sure you don't stray too far out onto the court? Or you're too close to the ref? Who's that?
I have three.
On today's Pardon My Take, we got a twofer for the people. We have Bruce Pearl, head coach of the SEC regular season champion Auburn Tigers. And then we have Arthur Smith from the Atlanta Falcons head coach. We taped Arthur during the Combine, so not that we would have brought it up, but there was obviously no Calvin Ridley questions because it was before the Combine. So.
I want to say for the record, I would have brought it up.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we definitely would have.
We would have found a way to bring it up.
We would have drilled down on it.
Yes. But great 2 interviews for everyone. We got some March Madness talk. We got Carson Wentz. And the big news of today, we have Billy's official bracket reveal for the quarterbacks in the 2022 draft class, plus fuckable spirals. So big day. Big day on Pardon My Take. And we're brought to you by our friends at Chevy. Chevy Silverado, the most durable, reliable vehicle on the road. Silverado is as strong and dependable as the people who drive them. Chevy Silverado, modern and advanced with a ton of grit, a partner in getting things done, especially when it comes to the heart and soul of a pickup truck, the bed. With Silverado, you get the most functional bed of any competitor. Best in class, standard cargo volume, 12 standard tie downs, available industry first power up down tailgate, or the available multi-flex tailgate we've been telling you about with 6 convenient configurations. All this makes the bed of the Silverado work harder and smarter. Silverado is strong, advanced, dependable, and hardworking. Chevy Silverado is the truck for you. We love Chevy. We love the new Silverado. Go check it out now and whisper PMT into their ear, and you get a free cup of coffee, free tank of gas, and $100. That's true. $100 off your Chevy Silverado. We love Chevy. We love the Silverado. Check it out now. The most advanced, dependable, and hardworking Silverado ever. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Pardon My Take, presented by Chevy. Today is Friday, March 11th, and Carson Wentz is a Washington Commander. PFT, the floor is yours.
In the last 24 hours, I've gone through what some may call mental gymnastics. I started out despondent, to say the least. I didn't know how to react in the moment. I said a lot of things in the past about Carson Wentz. I think we both have. And this was the universe just proving to me that karma's real, and that if you say something mean enough about somebody enough times, eventually you'll have to trick yourself into rooting for that person. I've given myself some time to think about it. A lot of things get said in the heat of battle, in the fog of war, but now I'm coming up for air. I've had some time to think it through logically, and I've reached this point in my bargaining stage where I think I'm the biggest Carson Wentz super fan in the world right now.
Yep.
And I did. So what I was doing yesterday, I'm a big logic over emotions guy. Facts don't care about your feelings, right?
Yes.
I was feeling like I wanted to throw muriatic acid in my eyes yesterday. I was feeling like I wanted to go get all of my hair cut off, which I almost did. Big Cat talked me out of it.
I know you got a great haircut, by the way. Just as a side note, if you're watching on the YouTube, go subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Great PMTV episode was out on Wednesday. Your haircut is phenomenal.
Thank you. And you know what I always appreciate about whenever I get a haircut? Hank always gasses me up. Hank's a hype man, and he's always like, "You should do the Jon Snow." Hank loves it when I do the Jon Snow.
Well, yeah, no, you look
thing.
You look good. You
Same
were like,
fam.
you were gonna get it all cut off. I was like, please don't do that. This is your brand.
I was Britney Spears.
And then you were like, I'm gonna get a mullet, and I was like, please don't do that, because then you would just be the beer guy who is, an 18-year-old, 29-year-old.
Kind of like me.
Documentarian.
Yeah, he's just a 10-year younger version of myself.
And then you went third option, which is just an awesome haircut.
Well, I needed to trim the split ends off anyways. But the bottom line is I went through a nervous breakdown yesterday. I was in shock. My face went pale. Didn't know what to do. Adam Schefter started high-stepping on my grave, which, looking back on it, he fucking knew when we interviewed Schefter. He kept bringing it up.
He called it back. That I was laughing about it, thinking about it. You guys were talking, and then he brought it back. He's like, what about Carson Wentz in Washington?
Yeah. He got us. So I was feeling bad yesterday, but there's some good facts about Carson Wentz that I can bring up. And where I'm at right now, I'm fully invested in thinking about his ceiling. He's a big ceiling guy.
Yes.
His ceiling is better than any quarterback in that division. Now, all we have to do is to get him to play at his ceiling on an average basis. Make his ceiling his average, and then I'm happy.
The ceiling is the roof.
The ceiling, yeah, we need to raise the roof a little bit.
To the ceiling.
All the way up to the ceiling. And I think that as long as we draft a quarterback, because we only gave up 2 third-round picks essentially to get him.
Nothing.
Big Cat, he was drafted 2nd overall.
Dude, so when it happened, I knew you were going through a crisis. I think the thing that I tried to calm you down on, which probably didn't help, was I was like, dude, you're going to sell yourself on this. I sold myself on Mike Glennon, which probably is not a great, analogy there. But I did, so I was thinking about it. It's like I could have done better as a friend. So as a friend, I asked who I've shouted out before, Stathole Sports, who does a great job. Go follow him on Twitter. He's our, wonky stat guy. I asked him to do a report for me to present to you on Carson Wentz.
Okay.
To spin it towards a good thing.
Okay, I've got a couple things that I'll bring up, and then I'll let you get to the report.
All right.
Blind resume season, okay?
Yeah.
Which quarterback would you rather have? A guy that has gotten 2 MVP votes or a guy that has gotten 0 MVP votes?
Definitely the 2.
There we go. Okay, so now I'll unveil it.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz was the guy that has received MVP votes. Russell Wilson was the guy that hasn't.
Carson Wentz has as many MVP votes as sprained ankles that he had at the same time last year.
Yeah, so that actually dovetails into another thing. He was injured last year when he played. We're getting a healthy Carson Wentz.
Double sprained ankles.
That has had, by the time training camp kicks off, he'll have had probably 7-8 months to recover from both sprained ankles.
Which I don't
know which one was worse.
Yeah, did he play a football game or was he in a car crash?
Yeah, no, I think he's the only person to ever have sprained. That's a hilarious injury.
That's like an elevator or car crash injury.
Yeah.
Double sprained ankles.
Also, 6 times in Washington history has a quarterback thrown 27 or more TDs. Wentz has done it 3 times in 6 seasons.
Love it.
In the history of the franchise, we've only had it 6 times. Also, Carson Wentz has never played with a receiver as good as Terry McLaurin.
That's a fact.
He's got a weapon now.
That's a fact.
I just think that there's a big ceiling for the guy. He doesn't throw interceptions.
He only threw 7 last year?
He threw 7 interceptions. That's 3 less than everybody's poster child for great NFC beast quarterback Dak Prescott. Mm-hmm. So, again...
You mean Black Kirk Cousins?
Black Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Is that a real thing?
I don't think so. There was a rumor that,
that
Amari Cooper told Dak Prescott after the loss in the playoffs that he was Black Kirk Cousins.
Why can't Kirk Cousins be Black Kirk Cousins?
It's just a very funny rumor to start.
I've never seen a black man grill with aluminum foil underneath the meat.
That's true.
I don't think that happens.
That's true. All right, you ready for my report?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. So, again, Stathole Sports, shout him out. He's great on Twitter. He has a great whole breakdown of Josh Allen and how incredible Josh Allen is. So go read that. All right, Carson Wentz. In the last 20 years, Carson Wentz is actually the best quarterback the Washington football team franchise will have. So if you do minimum 3 games, Carson Wentz has 1.63 TDs per game. The second one on that list is Shane Matthews with 1.57 TDs per game. So
I'm pretty sure Shane Matthews started like 6 games.
Yeah,
too.
but even still,
Yep.
Kirk Cousins was 1.56. Robert Griffin III was 1.11. Carson Wentz blowing the competition out of the water with 1.63 TDs per game. Mm-hmm. This is a list of all of the Washington football team quarterbacks. Tim Hasselbeck was 0.71 per game. He comes in dead last. All right, so that's a big one.
Ricochet shot on Tim Hasselbeck.
Yeah. Well, I'm just reading the stats. Stats don't lie. Jeff George, 0.88. He was in the middle of the pack. Anyway, next up, Carson Wentz. You don't want to domesticate Carson Wentz. He's a wildcat. He needs to be out there. Mm-hmm. All right, so Carson Wentz in the wild versus in captivity in a dome. Carson Wentz inside, 214 yards per game, 1.67 passing TDs, 0.78 interceptions, and 11 yards rushing. Outside, he's 244 passing yards, 30 yards more, about the same TDs, less interceptions, better rush yards.
Okay.
Guess where Washington football team plays? Outdoors.
Well, we play in a death trap of a stadium.
That doesn't matter. It's outdoors. That's all that matters.
Does Carson Wentz have any history of knee injuries?
No.
Okay,
just
good,
ankles.
good.
Yeah.
Move on.
All right. Okay, so that one, good. He's outside. We've established that he's outside. Guess what happens outside? You have weather. You have different degrees of weather. You have different months and everything, okay? So here we go. The average temperature last September in Washington, D.C. was 73 degrees. No quarterback has performed better from a yards per attempt standpoint in exactly 73-degree weather than Carson Wentz.
Let's go. Okay.
Top
good.
50 quarterbacks.
That's good because he's going to be healthy in September.
Yeah, top 50 quarterbacks yards per attempt in exactly 73-degree weather. He is number one, 9.71 yards per attempt.
His ceiling is so high
Think
that
about
he
that.
can't even perform indoors. There's no ceiling for Carson Wentz.
And let me just throw out a couple for you there. Your guy, elite Joe Flacco, he's an entire 3 yards per attempt less at exactly 73-degree weather.
I'm in.
It's incredible.
So there were moments last year where we went back and forth. I don't think that we were ever on the same page with Carson Wentz, but it would go back and forth across this very table when I would be like, Carson Wentz, I think, is back. I think he's good again.
Yeah.
And then be like, no, he stinks. And then you'd be like, no, he's good again. I just need him to be good again.
Yes.
All the time.
Exactly. All right, so we got September done. How about November and December? In Washington, D.C., the average temperature is 48 degrees in both November and December last year. Carson Wentz career yards per attempt at this exact temperature, 48 degrees, trails only 3 guys, Jamarcus Russell, Baker Mayfield, and Jared Goff. That's it. They're the only 3 guys that are better than Carson Wentz at exactly 48 degrees.
Elite company to be in.
Yes. So we now have September, November, December.
Wait. Who were those 3 quarterbacks you listed?
Jamarcus Russell, Baker Mayfield, and Jared Goff.
All number 1 overall draft
All
picks.
number 1 overall draft
Okay,
picks.
I'm in. Yes.
And then, so we have September, November, and December. What about October? Well,
I was wondering about October.
were wondering
I was like,
about
October
October.
must be a disaster.
Carson Wentz is one of only 11 quarterbacks to throw 14 touchdowns in any given month of a season. He did this in October of 2017.
That was his MVP year.
And the list of guys on the 14 or more TDs in any month is literally just Hall of Famers. It's Tom Brady, it's Peyton Manning, it's Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, it's Kurt Warner, and it's Carson Wentz there's more guys on the list, but it's Carson Wentz back in October of 2017. So shout out Stat Hole Sports. I think that we just proved that if you just break it down month by month, degree by degree, Carson Wentz playing outdoors in exactly 73 degrees or 48 degrees or the month of October, he's a Hall of Fame.
Okay, I need some weather gods. I need some weather luck next year. Jim Cantori, if you're out there, please give me a hand on that one. I'm kind of selling myself on it slowly. I'm accepting it. I'm gradually accepting the fact that Carson Wentz will be the quarterback. And again, I do want them to draft a quarterback in the first round. If we draft a quarterback still in the first round, I will be very happy with the situation that we're in. Where it's, you know what? It's upside for Carson. It's upside city. It's value that we got for 2 third-round picks for Carson Wentz. I'm starting to believe in it. If we go ahead and also get another quarterback in the first round.
So there we go.
And so it's funny because I was looking at who out there can I hitch my wagon to? Who is also in my circle now defending Carson Wentz?
Oh, yeah, I know.
And I've got 2 of the sharpest football minds in the world, Dan Orlovsky, and then our favorite analyst on the show.
Recently favorite.
Genius.
Yeah. Yep.
I've always said that this is a guy that is smart, that understands the world, that understands football.
That might have me blocked.
Emmanuel Acho. So me and Emmanuel Acho like this, that's my guy.
Yeah.
If you ever watch him break anything down, dude spits logic. He spits facts. A lot of people can't handle facts. They get triggered by it, and they end up going back and forth with him about stuff. But the bottom line is Emmanuel Acho is a football genius. So now it's me, the guy who can't be in a room with a woman because he'll fuck her, or in a hotel room with himself because he'll fuck himself. And then Emmanuel Acho, a guy that doesn't think Sha'Carri Richardson should have a sharp stick because she smokes pot.
Correct.
So
That's a who's who.
The 3 horsemen.
Of quarterbacks. Yeah.
The big 3.
Yeah. Emmanuel Acho, so logical, he has a book named Illogical.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how logical the guy is.
Listen.
Which his pinned tweet of him reading the audiobook is quite something. Again, I'm blocked, so whatever.
I don't think that I could have hoped for a bigger 3 to be out there defending Carson Wentz. It's huge.
It's enormous. Oh, breaking moves. We see the cow walking in. The cow's walking in the studio.
That was funny. Breaking. Major League Baseball and the MLB Players Association have reached a tentative agreement on a new labor deal, sources tell a website. While it still needs to be ratified by both parties, that is expected to be a formality, and when it is, baseball is back.
All
All
right,
right.
we did it, guys.
All we needed was Jeff Passan to get hacked and start tweeting about NFTs for this to happen. How mad is he? He's the biggest loser in all this.
Unless it was a Galaxy 4D play.
Oh,
he
and
actually has the NFTs.
Oh, he got his Twitter account back, so he was able to tweet it.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That would be actually very funny, Hank, if he took
Like
this
he knew the deal was coming, and he's like, "This is my chance to really."
Passon probably knew that, like, as far as notifications go, push notifications for people on his tweets, he's probably at an all-time high right now. This would be the best. He probably got a bag today.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I haven't ruled that out yet.
I'm
All
really
right, good job, baseball.
I'm waiting for all the facts to come out about this, but I'm really hoping that they got giant bases out of the deal.
Yep.
That was what the owners
some
were hoping
details.
for. Was
Oh.
big? Are they big bases? How big are the
I
bases?
don't know
Give it to
anything about
us.
the bases, but we do have. Sorry.
Yeah, well,
Go
we'd
ahead.
like to know about them.
Yeah.
9-inning doubleheaders.
I
Back.
love it.
Okay.
Wait. Oh, no, I don't love that. I like the 7-inning doubleheaders.
No, I'm
Those are
okay
ruled.
with it.
Man
No,
on
I like
second.
those.
Extra innings. Out.
Yes.
That's good. Yes, that's good.
That's what I got so far.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
that's it. All right, so they just basically took the two rules that everyone hated. All right, that's progress. Yeah,
it's
good job.
What about the shift? Do we
That's
know
the old
anything?
Goodell.
I want to know about the shift. Yeah.
Or the DH.
Working on it.
Make a
How
rule
many-
and then take it away.
How many DHs? It'd be funny if they had first base normal size, second base like slightly bigger, third base giant, just a big fucking base.
That would be sick. That would be very sick.
I didn't even know where that came from, but out of nowhere, they were like, yeah, the owners need the bases to be 33% bigger.
Why not? More steals. Steals actually would make the game more exciting.
More
Agreed.
space for ad revenue.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
They're-
Make those bases bigger.
They still have a make good that they have to do for advertising Spider-Man 2 on the
Mm-hmm.
bases.
And free tacos in the World Series.
Yep.
Shout out Taco Bell. All right, so
Shout out.
good job, baseball. You are back. Let's do. We have Billy's bracket, and then we'll talk a little March Madness, and we'll get to our interviews. Before we do that, Cross Country Mortgage. If you're still throwing away money on rent every month, you're just sitting on the bench. Cross Country Mortgage puts you in the game, and you'll be a part of championship team. Cross Country Mortgage has a team of loan officers dedicated to getting you the best possible loan terms available. They have an average close time of 21 days, which is crazy fast. They've got a wide variety of loan types, which means they've got everything to cover everyone. And they have some exciting news. They're giving away free Barstool and Cross Country Mortgage sweatshirts when you sign up to refi or get pre-approval while supplies last. So what are you waiting for? Get off the bench, start warming up. Cross Country Mortgage is the team dedicated to getting you in your dream home starting today. Go to ccm.com/Barstool. That's ccm.com/Barstool so Cross Country Mortgage can take care of you through the buying process. Cross Country Mortgage LLC, NMLS 3029. All loans subject to underwriting approval. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Okay, Billy, we are ready. Let's do it. The bracket that we've all been waiting for. We alluded to it on Wednesday, a teaser, as they say in the business. Billy is here with his. Let's start with. You know what? Let's start with fuckable spirals.
Okay.
Because then it'll be interesting how it relates to
Translates.
your actual grades.
Okay, so I looked at a lot of tape. It's going to be in a blog on Barstool Sports. .com will be posted tomorrow morning. I have a lot of video that backs up these claims. Fuckable spirals. So
This is a ranking, not a bracket, right?
this is just guys who have it and guys who don't.
Got
Okay.
it. Okay.
So-
binary.
There's a lot of guys who have fuckable spiral energy but don't have fuckable spirals.
Yep. I see what you're saying.
So there's guys like Dustin Crum,
Mm-hmm.
Sam Howell, and Kenny Pickett. All have fuckable spiral energy.
We just saw Kenny Pickett. He came in and said hello to us.
I know.
Okay,
But don't
all
worry,
right,
don't
all
worry,
right,
don't
all
worry.
right,
It's
all
just
right.
it's just about the spiral. Look, I'm gonna say Dustin Crum and Sam Howell have a little bit of weird mechanics that make the ball look a little weird. It comes down like sideways. It doesn't look like a straight projectile.
The axis is wobbly.
The
on
axis
it.
is wobbly.
Yeah, that's the big
It's
thing.
like, the ball points down. It's a little weird. You'll see what I'm saying in the blog.
I'm a little nervous, by the way, because how many quarterbacks did you watch tape on?
I watched like everyone from the 2022 draft.
Okay, so is there a certain my favorite quarterback? Is he in there?
He might be.
Western Kentucky.
So we talk about him.
Okay, all right, good.
Yeah.
Because he is the best.
Uh,
Bailey Zappi. I mean, he's got the best name.
he has the best name.
His name's Bailey Zappi.
Yeah. So really with Kenny Pickett, it's his glove. Seeing the ball come off a gloved hand messes with my brain.
yeah,
Yep.
that's fair.
So I can't. But trust me,
Yeah,
it will make up.
No,
for it
if you're
later.
talking about a fuckable spiral, like
Like a
using a
raw.
glove is like taking a shower with a raincoat on.
That's
Feels better.
Kenny, not you. That's a you problem, not a Kenny problem. Kenny's
Right.
just throwing out there. It's nothing against him. It's just our brains can't handle it.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Fair.
So these are guys with super fuckable spirals.
Okay.
Number one, Malik Willis.
Yep.
Yeah.
Goddamn bomb. And the thing is, I love how the ball turns over on his long balls.
Yep.
So it just goes up, and it points up when it's going up,
Mhm.
and when it's going down, it points down, and it looks like an absolute cruise missile.
Yep.
Just zoom.
I've always wondered about that with quarterbacks and punters. What makes the ball turn over as opposed to it staying up? I'm not a physics guy.
I don't know, but this guy moon bombs. And then he like, if you look at his shorter passes, tight darts, in and out, jumps off his hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like when Aaron Rodgers threw that pass to the guys on the yacht at that golf tournament.
Mm-hmm.
When you see that jumping off the hand type velocity, where it's like his motion looks,
zip.
his motion looks this fast, but then the ball looks faster than his motion.
Yep.
That's that extra fuckable.
That's Malik Moonbombs.
Okay. So that's one. Two.
Carson Strong,
Yep. Nevada.
very very fuckable spiral.
Yep.
Great quarterback name too.
Carson Strong he throws a long ball, good long ball, but some of his intermediate throws, very fuckable spiral, just slips in and out. I don't know how he does it. Looks like a wizard with it.
Love it.
Last, this guy I think has the most fuckable spiral, Jack Cohn.
Ooh.
Okay.
Jack Cohn, super
Badger.
fuckable spiral.
5-star from Long Island.
New York guy,
Shout out
little
Boomer.
bias. But this guy, he threw 55 miles per hour in the speed throw. He was the only guy to hit the exact target on the speed throw when throwing it out of the
Wow.
5 guys. Sam Howell had the fastest at like 58, 59, but he didn't even hit anywhere close to the target.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold that against
So,
him later in the...
Put that, translate that into something that is applicable in my real world experience in this office. 55 miles an hour with a football. How fast would that be with like a high noon can?
enough to kill you.
Okay.
Okay, so
now
you could kill somebody with his
Yeah,
football.
yeah.
let's do it another way. So 55 miles an hour. If you were, well, that's pretty fast. Say it was going 35 miles an hour as a car, and you were running in Queens, Bronx.
Could break your ankle.
Break your ankle.
Break
Okay,
your ankle,
all right,
yeah.
got it.
But
Just putting into real world so people understand the real world
also, it's just
issues here.
Jack Cohen has a high release point, which I'm a sucker for.
Yep.
So when it
okay.
comes out-
We all are.
So now we're going to go.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
High release point and funky release points. Like I don't like
Yeah.
them in the middle release points. I like
Right.
You like
if they can get all over the place like a Patrick Mahomes,
Yeah.
or if they can, or a nice high release point that's
Right.
like
Well, Mahomes has a high release point when he's just
Straight up, right.
which I like.
Yes.
If you're straight up high release point, that's sexy.
yes,
One thing about college quarterbacks as opposed to the NFL when it comes to their fuckable spirals, college quarterbacks who are left-handed usually have fuckable spirals to me. The second they put on an NFL uniform and you take the stripes off the ball, I would not touch that spiral
yeah,
with a 10-foot
it's
pole.
uncatchable. All right, is this the bracket?
This is the bracket, but first I have to explain the top 8 that I chose
Okay,
because it's not everyone's typical top 8.
all right.
So number 8, no particular order. I have the top 4s basically the same as everybody. Kenny Pickett, Sam Howell, Malik Willis, Matt Corral in no particular order. And then my bottom 4 are a little different to everybody else's. I put EJ Perry on there for reasons I'll
For
explain.
Brown because he picked up the trash.
No. There's other reasons.
Oh,
I'm sure.
okay.
We got Jack Cohen on there, Carson Strong, Desmond Ritter. So
No
those are my
Bailey
bottom
Zappi.
4. No Bailey Zappi,
That's
unfortunately.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
He's electric.
But you said we were going to get to Bailey Zappa.
I think we just did
We just did.
by me saying no Bailey Zappi.
No Bailey Zappi.
Bill, you know that people heard you talk earlier on this
How we're gonna
podcast,
get to him.
and you said, "Well, there's
Well,
something
I-
else
I
coming
was
about
hoping
Bailey.
you guys
it's
forget
going to be
about it."
later on in the bracket, and then Big Cat's going to say, "Hey, where's Bailey
Yeah,
Zappa?"
where's Bailey
I
Zappi?
hope you guys are going to forget about it. I didn't
Can
want
you
to let
just get
people
Bailey
down.
Zappi? Can we just say Bailey Zappi lost the play-in game?
He lost the play-in to EJ Perry for
All right,
reasons
fair,
I'll explain.
fair.
Okay. Matchup number 1, we got Kenny Pickett versus EJ Perry. This is the number 1 seed versus the 8 seed.
Okay.
EJ Perry is only on here because he was the most athletic quarterback. If you combine his scores, there was a certain NFL draft scourge by Next Gen Stats that put EJ Perry is the most athletic quarterback in the draft.
Okay.
How is he more athletic than Malik Willis, though?
Well, it's the scores.
Because he didn't run at the combine,
Well,
probably.
it's the next
Yeah.
gen.
The
The next gen
well,
stats.
the next
yeah.
gen, he ran
And
a
also,
4.6.
EJ Perry picked up the trash. Malik Willis gave it to the homeless people, so that evens
Yeah.
itself out.
Exactly. So he got on there for the athleticism and picking up the trash.
Oh, so he did. Okay.
And exactly. So that's why he's on the list.
Listen to this podcast using the 15-second rewind button must
Yeah.
be an absolute mindfuck
Yes.
when you hear Billy
Yes,
talk.
exactly.
So anyway,
you're like it exactly can be used. It's like aloha. Was it aloha means different things?
Yeah, the Inuits have like 40 different words for snow.
Yeah,
Billy's
using exactly like confirming that he's wrong, confirming that he's right, kind of just trying to move on from whatever we're talking about. There's many exact.
Well, the closest that he'll ever get to admitting that he was lying about something or wrong is just when he takes a pause and he goes, anyways.
Yeah, so anyways.
Yeah.
So this isn't going to be
Okay.
this isn't going to be an Ellinger, Trevor Lawrence situation. Kenny Pickett blows him out of the water.
Okay.
Matchup number 2, we got Malik Willis versus Carson Strong. Malik Willis is number 2. Carson Strong is number 7. Carson Strong, big arm. He was in the running for. He's one of the fuckable spiral guys. But Malik Willis has been said to be, in my opinion, combination of Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. This is what the people are saying.
So the best quarterback of all time.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, if you look at Malik's throws from the combine, insane, absolutely crazy type stuff. So I did the exact calculation on how far he threw that ball. If you do the Pythagorean theorem, it comes out to 75 on a line, which is insane.
And it was fuckable too. He has
Very
the
fuckable.
fuckable
Turned over
spiral.
moon bomb. It went high. It was a high bomb too.
Okay, so now we have Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis in the final 4.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Also, he gave the homeless guy clothes.
Yep.
Huge. Matchup number 3, Sam Howell versus Jack Cohen. They faced off, but this is the first upset of the bracket.
Oh!
I have Jack Cohen beating out Sam Howell.
No bias because he's from New York.
No, that was absolutely biased.
Yep.
So
I think,
Exactly.
I also think that Billy learned from Jake's mistakes and is putting a Wisconsin guy, like advancing him.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, smart man.
the whole ideology behind this is Sam Howell threw 59, but he didn't hit the target on the speed pitch. And the thing is, with quarterbacks, guys should always be trying to hit the target. You always should have a pinpoint on a jersey you're aiming for. He didn't hit it. Jack Cohen hit it right on the center with his 55 mile per hour. So that's really why I chose Jack Cohen. Also, we'll get to it later.
Yeah.
New York guy.
Yeah.
Sam Howell also.
We'll get to that later. We haven't discussed it yet.
I kind of want to do we should get to the Final Four, and then we should save the Final Four for Monday.
Okay, perfect.
Because it's like everyone's like, and the anticipation is going to kill everyone, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. We'll do it at the end of the show on Monday.
Also, Sam Howell didn't cover a couple times and upset me during the season. But we're moving on.
I completely agree with that.
Also, let down in the Heisman race. Sam Howell, I'm sure you're a great guy. I'd love to meet you, but
Sam Howell wins the Jake Fromm Award, where if he could have come out last year, probably would have been better for him.
Right. So this is matchup number 4.
Okay. So we have 3 of our 4 Final Fours. Final Four will be Monday.
Number 4, Matt Corral, Ole Miss, versus number 5, Desmond Ridder, Cincinnati. So let me preface this by saying that I live next to Ben Mintz.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Corral has been a topic of a discussion for the whole season.
Yep.
We've been debating, is he a systems quarterback? Are his 10 wins in the SEC with the SEC schedule?
Now, when you say systems, that means he can play in multiple systems.
System.
Okay. Got it.
So I looked
He also shares a birthday with Jackie Robinson.
Wow.
And me.
Wow.
Desmond Ridder from Cincinnati also had a great season, made it to the college football playoff. So how am I going to compare these two quarterbacks? I looked at their stats versus Bama. Because they both played Bama.
I think that's fair. That's
totally fair.
Because
fair.
that
talent around them is exactly the same.
That defense is basically an NFL defense.
Correct.
So we just got to look at that. Matt Corral performed better against Bama, but it's not too different. So Desmond Ridder got sacked 6 times against Bama.
Again, yep.
No touchdowns,
Totally
144 yards.
Yep.
Matt Corral got sacked twice against Bama.
Oh, wow. That is a
213 yards and a touchdown. I think Desmond Ridder is more sackable. Even though he's very athletic.
Yeah.
Based on these numbers.
Yes, he's much more sackable. Also, Mincy has totally brainwashed me into him being a tough, savvy quarterback who throws bombs. So Mincy has totally corrupted my mind on Matt Corral because we watched the games, and this is what we were just talking about.
I love it.
Okay, so I like Matt Corral a lot. I agree with your analysis of him in terms of his sackability. My concern about him is that Matt Corral, if I'm not mistaken, he's a forearm tattoo guy. Right?
That actually plays into next.
Does it? Because I don't know if I've ever seen a great quarterback with a forearm tattoo.
Well, we'll get there Monday.
Taylor Heineke's one.
Yeah.
Wait, but I blogged the whole thing, so people are going to know if I blog it. Should I not blog? I'll not blog it.
Yeah, don't blog the final.
Okay.
Keep out the Final Four.
Right. So,
Yeah, and then we'll do Final Four Monday. I like the
Perfect.
the anticipation of who's gonna fucking get your brackets. I want to see
Yeah.
people
brackets.
send
for
us
sure.
filled out brackets of what you think the Final Four will play, how it will play out.
this is what the Final Four is. Kenny Pickett plays Malik Willis.
Yep.
Jack Cohen plays Matt Corral.
Okay.
And that's
And then we'll
who's
see
the
who
Final
wins.
Four.
Yeah. So fill out your brackets and tweet us at.
Yeah.
Where are
I-
the games being? Where are they being played?
they're being played in my mind.
Okay. Neutral
Wait.
site.
Neutral site in my mind.
So no drugs in your mind. No drugs. No beer.
No drugs, no beer
Neutral site.
on Monday.
What about?
Yeah. Right.
Has-
Like you can't be under the influence because then that's not neutral site.
When I wrote it, it was a neutral site.
Okay. Got it.
Has Jack Cohen ever played against Alabama?
No.
You got to find another common opponent then.
Well, that's not the factor. It's already played out.
Okay.
Okay, it's been played out.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that we're going to put out another bracket on Sunday or Monday because
Yeah. Right.
like this bracket season.
This will be
I
the most
cl-
important bracket we discuss on Monday.
I will click on anything online with a bracket.
Yes.
If Homeboy's got a bracket, he's like going to
Yep.
get it.
Bracket
All right.
of ketchup.
Stay tuned.
All right. Great job, Billy. That was great. So yeah, tune in Monday. The completion of Billy's football quarterback football bracket. Reminder: Sam Ellinger won last year's bracket.
Which
He's
He
now
could
the
be a
quarterback.
starter,
one of the
yeah.
Colts.
right now he is the starter
Yes,
for the Colts,
he is-
presumed starter.
He is going to be the man.
Hashtag Billy was right.
Jim Irsay, I think, loves the kid,
Yeah,
and he's
Yeah.
going to ball out.
Obviously.
I like how you said
100%.
that. Loves the kid.
Size 10-inch hands. He's the next Drew Brees.
Yes.
Taller than Drew Brees, too.
All right. We should do a little college basketball. Then we got Bruce Pearl. Then we got Arthur Smith. So Duke almost lost, and then they had the refs come in. Well, they had the refs come in beforehand, right, Hank? Because they got Buddy Boeheim suspended, which was nice. I did like that Jim Boeheim
Did
was.
assault a person.
Well, I don't. Well, hey, if you want to get into that, Hank, like, how many people have died besides Houdini from getting hit in the stomach?
Probably a lot.
No, probably. How many people have died from drunk driving accidents?
Yeah,
More.
right.
Yeah. So it's just interesting to me that the punishments were similar.
It's true. That's fair.
It's like right now I'm doing a real life. Well, Buddy Boeheim only got 50% of the suspension that Ray Rice got.
Right. And, like, Boeheim's never killed a guy.
Correct.
All right, so the refs did just show up at the end to help you out.
It was an ugly game for Duke. I said it out loud. I was like, there's a chance that Coach K has won his last game already.
Yeah, you tweeted that.
Yeah, I was.
Including next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying like he's gonna lose his last regular season game, first ACC tournament game, first
That'd be crazy.
NCAA tournament
Be
game.
wild.
Yeah, I don't think
Would
But
be.
thankfully the refs stepped in.
that first half, I struggle to remember a time when I've seen two teams with a greater disparity in terms of shooting the ball. Duke couldn't hit anything.
It was awesome to watch how hot Syracuse
Yeah,
was.
Syracuse is super hot. Jimmy was hot.
Yep.
Jimmy came out. What was he, Jake? 5 for 6 from 3.
I think he was 6 for 7. He ended up 6 for 9. But
It was
Yeah,
awesome
they,
to
They were
watch.
doing it for Buddy. It was
Yeah.
Buddy innocent.
Yeah, and it was. I did like that Jim Boeheim was like, the other kid was kind of knocking him around a little bit, and he inadvertently punched him in the gut. I don't think he should have been suspended. I really don't, and I wanted to see
if they reviewed
Buddy
it
play
in the game, they probably would have given him maybe a flagrant 2 and ejected the rest of that game. They were blowing
Right.
out FSU. Then he would have been in today.
Yeah.
So,
So-
like,
and I like watching Buddy play. Like he's
Yeah.
fun to play because he gets hot.
good
I mean,
player.
it was really his brother did like his best interpretation of Buddy getting hot.
Yeah, they were doing it for Buddy. And when Jay Billis was talking about it yesterday, he was saying that Buddy should not have been suspended for it because of the letter of the law and how the ACC judges things. But I guess the ACC used their like sportsmanship clause or something like that. They do have like a bylaw, which is like when Roger Goodell goes God mode and gets to put somebody on the commissioner's list. The ACC has like this weaselly little rule where they say that, okay, if you do something unsporting, they can go in and do it. But yeah, by the way that they've done everything else all year, they should not have suspended him for that game.
Yeah.
just a shame this is how his career ended. And for the first time in 46 seasons, Jim Boeheim's team finishes under 500.
Oh,
Is Bob Huggins
brutal.
okay?
I think he just got kicked out of the game. I think.
Oh, I
he's fine.
thought he just needed a nap.
No,
he
I
looked
think
like
I think he got tossed. I think he got the old tosserino because they're shooting free throws right now. So that would make sense. Yeah, he was very upset.
he just looked like a man that when the bartender was like, "I think you've had enough, sir."
Get out of here. No, Coach K definitely called the ACC and was like, "Hey, we can't let this stand. Our guy Theo John tackled a man against UNC, but we can't let this stand."
Nope.
Yeah,
So Duke
ridiculous.
advances. I don't think Coach K smiled at all the entire game. just screaming at his players like they were the student section.
Mm-hmm.
It was sad to see, but Duke advanced.
Or a student newspaper.
I do think that Coach K is going to get the guys together and they're going to make a run in the tournament, though. That's
tournament or next week's
next
tournament?
Week's tournament, the real tournament.
Mm-hmm.
The real tournament.
Put a pin in that one. I think Duke's going.
If they
on a
lost to
run.
a 15 seed. Oh my god.
What do we have for Michigan? So that was the other big story today. Michigan blows an all-time blown lead against Indiana. Shout out Juwan Howard too. Great sorry not sorry by him yesterday. He said, talking about the Greg Gard incident, because this was his first game back, he said, I could come with 1,000 excuses, but I'm not. I take full ownership for my actions. That's what he said. Oh, wait, no. He went on to say, I could talk about the timeout. We could discuss the pull on the arm. We could talk about the words exchanged with coaches.
Mm-hmm. So he's not talking about
He's
those.
not.
Yeah,
he's not. We could, but he's not. But yeah, that was a bad loss for
They
Michigan.
were up by 17 with 11 minutes left.
Yikes.
They should still be in.
But
Might
they
have
are
to go
on
to
the bubble.
Dayton. Might have to go to Dayton.
They're on the bubble.
I'd still be surprised if they're out, but Indiana now. I had both these teams in the Final Four.
Did you?
Yeah.
start of the
But now,
game, yeah.
now they both might make it.
Yeah, that's
So,
true. You're
still
still alive.
alive.
Wait,
Yeah.
you didn't
Well,
say
you're not still alive because Wisconsin's going to be in the tournament.
Well,
Your perfect bracket's
I'm
not still alive.
True.
But
Yeah.
no, Jake, it could be the NIT. You were just doing the NIT bracket.
That too. I just mislabeled it. at the
That'd be
beginning of the
very
season.
funny
But
if
I
you
also
had-
have Gonzaga and Villanova.
There is, though, like this time of year, it's incredible. Conference tourney week, like the meltdowns. Arizona State yesterday,
Oof.
they were up like 14 with 4 minutes left, and they
Yep.
lost in regulation. Crazy shit happens.
Another one for the buzzer beater list. Virginia
Yeah.
Tech
Yep.
last night.
Virginia Tech,
There's been a
Texas
few.
A&M basically had a
Oof.
buzzer beater.
And,
That's 0.1.
I know you guys are big Rick Pitino guys. We
Oh,
like
yeah.
Rick Pitino on this podcast, but they lost to Ryder in the MAC quarterfinals. They are not going dancing.
Well, we are riders.
He finished early.
Yeah.
I tweeted
little
that and I
too
got
early.
like
Oh,
5
no,
or
did
6
you?
of the same.
But you meant it in the literal sense.
Oh, of course.
Yes. of
His
course.
his seed was eliminated.
Yes. Early.
His seed got ejected.
Very early.
They're going to the NIT.
quickly.
So
Are confirmed?
yeah, so if you're a mid-major regular season champion and you get bounced in your conference tournament, you're a 1 seed, automatic
Love that.
auto bid to the NIT.
Love that.
I do think that the NCAA is fucking over some schools with their rules, though. Bellarmine.
Oh, Bellarmine.
Yeah,
Oh my
Bellarmine's
God.
that's bullshit.
Let the kids play.
Yep, let them play.
A team going to that lost in the semifinals, Jacksonville State.
Yeah, because they won the regular season.
Yeah.
They lost to the team that finished second.
It was so funny looking at their seeding in the conference tournament. They were both 2 seeds.
Yeah, they did
Yeah.
a divisions thing.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Is it like Illinois and Wisconsin? Are they both 2 seeds or they both 1 seed?
Football
That
does
doesn't
that,
hurt me.
right?
Your quarterback's Carson Wentz.
Football
know,
does
super
Big Ten
pumped.
divisions. Basketball doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
Talk to me in October.
Yeah, September's going to be his month, though. 73 degrees. Best quarterback of all time.
Is he? Wait, what was Mitch's special degrees?
64. It was that one game we went to against the Bucks where he had 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It was literally one game. All right, before we get to Bruce Pearl and Arthur Smith, I just want to say I fucked up really bad. Last week, I told everyone that it was daylight savings. It's actually next week, so that's my fault. Next week, we're changing our clocks, so hand up. I fucked that up again. Next week, next Saturday, it's actually perfect. It's on St. Patrick's Day or the day after.
Yeah, so it's
a
going
tournament?
to give you an extra hour to sleep in and be hungover, right?
Yes.
Oh no, wait, the spring forward.
Spring forward.
So yeah, it's going to give you an extra hour at the bar.
Yes,
on
extra
St.
hour at the
Patrick's
bar,
Day.
extra hour of college basketball next Saturday during the tournament. Get excited. That's going to be sick.
That would be awesome if that's how they did it, and if there was a sports game going on at that time, they just extended the entire game by an hour.
Yeah, just play another extra half. I fucking love it. All right, let's do our interviews, though. We got Bruce Pearl, PFT. You got a quick word from one of our sponsors?
Before we get to Bruce Pearl, I want to talk to you about our great friends over at Game Time. This is actually big news for us here at Barstool Sports, and part of my take. Game Time is the new official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. You guys ask us sometimes how to get the cheapest tickets. I know that we look for the cheapest tickets sometimes, try to find the best value when we're trying to go to sporting events. I'm very happy to say that Game Time is now the place to go. It's a new app. It was created by fans for fans. It's changing the way that we buy tickets, and it's become one of the fastest growing companies in America. Here's the story. Years ago, Game Time's founder, Brad, is at a bar with his brother before Game 7 of the NLCS. He sees ticket prices dropping. So he buys them on his phone, but then he realizes that he has to go print them. He ends up bribing the bar owner to let him into his office, and after 20 minutes of login, ink issues, he gets the tickets, but he misses the first inning. This actually happened the other week to Mike Grinelli from Spit and Chicklets. When me and Donnie were over at Margaritaville, he showed up because he had to print these tickets up online, and it turns out that he got them from a scammer, and it was a whole big thing. You need a place that is going to let you get into the game with the tickets that you already bought. And so the owner, Brad, thought, wow, I got a great last-minute deal, but it's a giant pain in the ass, and the Game Time app was born. Today, over 15 million people have downloaded this app. Created by fans for fans, the Game Time app makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets, sports, concerts, shows, everything. If you've ever dreamed of sitting in a seat you never thought that you could, courtside maybe, behind home plate, floor seats at a concert, it's possible with the Game Time app. It's the biggest last-minute price drops can be found on the seats that you thought that you could never buy. The best part is that you get $20 off your first purchase. $20 off. To get $20 off your first purchase, download the Game Time app, go to the account tab, create a login, redeem code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Certain terms apply. Download Game Time, last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Go to a conference tourney this weekend. Try to go to the final game. Get the best tickets that you can find and get them at the best value that exists. Download the Game Time app. Go to the account tab to create a login. Redeem code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Now here is Bruce Pearl.
Okay, we now welcome on a very special guest. It is Auburn head coach Bruce Pearl, presumptive team with the 1 seed. We're going to run this a week from today, so you'll be in the middle of the SEC conference tournament. So let's start here. Thanks for coming on. March, it's the best. I mean, when the clock turns to March, does something switch in your brain where you're like, this is it. This is my time?
Well, I don't know, Big Cat. First of all, by the time we get to March, we've been working every day since like sometime in October. So we're kind of exhausted. But there is a different energy, right? Because, man, to the victor go the spoils. And there's so much glory to be had in March. We've worked really hard to put ourselves in position to make a run. We'll see what happens.
How does that work going into the SEC tournament when you've obviously put together a good body of evidence, making a case for yourself being a high seed already in the NCAA tournament, but you've got the SEC tournament, you've got a bunch of great coaches in that league, guys that you want to go out there and beat, you want to compete against. How much do you put into preparing for this tournament as opposed to making sure that you're in the right place, physically as a team for the NCAA tournament?
Man, I just think you take it one day at a time. I mean, I know it sounds like coach talk, but it's just true. You just focus on the next opponent. For us, it'll take 3 games, 3 wins to win an SEC tournament championship. And so we'll just take them one at a time and we'll prepare. But I've never believed in doing anything at your conference tournament to get ready for the NCAA tournament other than try to win. I mean, and try to play better. And the teams that improve throughout the season, the teams that continue to grow and get better are the teams that are playing their best at the end, and that's what it takes to win it all.
Now, do you think your guys are playing their best right now? Because the start to the season was incredible. I remember that game against UConn because I had wagered on it, and I watched all the overtimes. I was in a playground with my son with my phone out watching the end of it. I did have UConn.
Did we cover? Did we cover? Or did we?
You did not. I had UConn.
My apologies.
No, good. I had UConn. No apologies necessary. So, but you guys start whatever it was, 20-1 or something like that. And the last couple weeks have been a little bit back and forth. A lot of tough places to play in the SEC. So, has there been like a counterpunch or a counter coaching move to correct this last few weeks where it hasn't been as good as it was to start the season?
Big Cat, we're not playing our best right now, but I think it more has to do with the fact that, look, we lost at Arkansas and had the ball with a chance to win it in regulation. We lost at Florida, had the ball to win it at the end of regulation, and we lost to Tennessee. We were down 3 with a minute to go. I mean, so those have been, and then we just beat Mississippi State, who had only lost 1 game at home in conference, and that was to Tennessee. So, even in some of those defeats, we had our chances. What do you got to do to be playing your best at the end? You got to defend and rebound. That always travels, but you got to get hot. You got to make shots. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's what really is the great separator. We're always going to guard. But the question is, can we start shooting it a little better? And that's what we're trying to get done.
Yeah. What now in terms of like the tournament setting, both the SEC tournament and then the actual March Madness tournament, how do you manage that in terms of like legs? I know they're young guys, but playing back-to-back days or playing, a new opponent 2 days after you play in the first round of the NCAA tournament, how do you manage that in terms of legs, in terms of shooting? Like how does that all work?
Well, for us, it's about the sum of our parts. And I think you see in sport, when you get into postseason, you see coaches shorten their benches. And it exists in every team sport. I don't believe in that. I'm not going to shorten my bench at all. And the hardest game for a team like us to win will be the first game, because we're going to play 9 or 10 guys. But in game 2, we have an advantage because I'm not playing Jabari Smith 35 minutes in game 1. He's going to get his 30, 32, and he's going to have legs to be able to play in that second game. And I think that's one of the things that's made us a good program in March, is that we're not exhausted at the end of the year, because I believe in playing 9 or 10 guys. Now, some coaches, look, I got 5 guys better than the bench. I understand that. But I think the way to win at the end is keep them fresh. Yeah. That's a great question.
And how do you keep them loose going into the tournament and in those back-to-back games? Do you do anything differently? Are you a kind of coach that breaks out more of the motivational stuff going into the tournament? Or are you like kind of dialing yourself back to make sure that you've got enough energy to make it through?
I'm the same. Look, when you're not very talented, you got to make up for it with some passion and some energy. I am the same for a Division II exhibition game as I am for a Final Four game. The kids see no difference. Inside, I'm going batshit crazy, okay? Inside, I am. But I'm the same crazy all year long. And so, the kids don't see any difference, and I don't want them to, because I want them to prepare, and I want them to take every opponent seriously. And so no, we don't dial it back. We just, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
And so it's been working. So I think consistency is an important thing to show the kids as you get later in the season.
Now, specifically, what about your voice? And what about your own, your wardrobe? Like, these things are important. You yell a lot. You have a hoarse voice right now. If you're playing 3 games in a row in the SEC tournament, or you're going in March Madness, and then your wardrobe, you're sweating through everything. What is the Bruce Pearl? Like, do you have a coach for you need a coach for you and how to manage all your stuff?
You have no idea how my staff takes such great care of me. Now that I'm 61, I'll be 62 in a week or so. They're giving me all kind of vitamins, and I get memory pills, and I get, my trainer wants me to make sure I work out. They do. They're worried about me getting my rest and, taking care of me. So, but the voice, I could tell you that on the second or third day, the kids don't listen to me anyways. Okay. So what's going to be the difference? They don't listen at this time of the season. So they can't hear me. It might actually be a blessing.
Have you ever had a game where you, sweat so much so early you're like, this is gonna suck, like this is not gonna be good?
Hey, Big Cat, get the tape of my first year at Tennessee when I went down to Florida, and we played Billy Donovan in a year he won the national championship. I wore a light green suit, and I had a little fever that day, plus I also sat out in the sun because I love the sun. And I went into that gym, I sweat through the entire suit. I mean, not just like the pits and not just the back or underneath the boobs, the whole thing, like trousers, like right down here, right? Hard to explain, not a good look.
Yeah. I feel like that happens to college basketball coaches more than anybody else in the world. I don't know if you're necessarily sweatier than other professions, but it's something about being in that gym under those lights in certain environments.
Something about being in the gym. It's hot. There's a swimming pool right next to the Florida gym, so you could sort of smell the chlorine, and it's warm. And then here's the deal: I'm no longer coaching in a suit, okay? But who decided that was a good idea? Like, let's go ahead and put a 100% cotton shirt on. Let's button it up to the top. Then let's throw a noose around your neck. On top of that, let's throw a winter coat and then go out there and coach.
Now, I do think that Jay
Who
Wright,
thinks that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Jay Wright should continue to wear the suits. He's the one guy that he looks like he should always be in a suit.
Yeah, but he's GQ. I mean, he's a sexy man. I mean, most of us don't have that Jay Wright game.
Yeah.
Like I want to go to games like Big Cat goes to the games at Wisconsin. Kind of like you weren't very heavily clothed on that game.
No, I was not. I'm looking at the picture of you in that Florida game. You did sweat all the way through it. You also have a tie that went way past your belt buckle. I don't know what you were thinking there. I've always thought basketball coaches. You guys should wear uniforms like baseball.
You know what they say. You know what they say about guys that have short ties, don't you?
No.
They don't have very big hands.
Ooh. Interesting.
So they can't. So a guy with a short tie can't be a quarterback.
Yeah, you got big
Correct.
hands.
Gotcha.
Okay. What about wearing an actual basketball jersey? That'd be kind of cool if it was like MLB.
I don't think I could make that look very good. I just think sometimes those suckers taper, and I'm not sure what how it would look down at the bottom. Unless I could keep it untucked. And then the referee is going to go by, hey, tuck it. You got to tuck your shirt in.
Yes.
They were already on me all the time. I don't need any more advice about how I'm going to dress.
Well,
Yeah.
I know you're a big chest paint guy. We're big chest painter guys. I had the Wisconsin Badger on my chest. Big Cat had the basketball boobs. It was a great time. It was our first time chest painting, but you used to do it back in Tennessee. I think you could just like paint a suit on yourself on the sidelines.
No. Look, when I did that Tennessee deal for Pat Summitt, they called me the Incredible Bulk. Okay. and then when I was at the Georgia football game, for our football team, and we were hanging out with our players. My wife said, listen, that's enough. Okay. America's seen quite enough of that body. You need to put that thing away. So I'm done. We're not going to get exposed anymore.
Well, it's a bad combination if you're going to be sweating to have the body paint, because then it just all runs down and it's just it's a weird. You got to puddle underneath yourself.
Also on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. What you obviously are very animated on the sidelines. How does it work with the referees in terms of game flow, like the start of the game, before the game starts? Are you going up to the refs and, saying how are your kids and how, maybe talking to them, and then is it slowly build up?
Yeah, we used to, but now because of COVID, we're not allowed to touch each other. We're not allowed to get, we can't get that close contact. So I can't schmooze with them at all. But seriously, I guess going back to being the same, I will take my players on during the course of the game and holler at them. And so therefore, what I'm hollering, the referees see me hollering at the kids way more than I'm hollering at them. And so if occasionally I holler at the referees with sort of the same tone, they're used to it because they've heard me berating my players. So what I give them is far less than what I'm telling my players. So they for the most part, they tolerate.
That's interesting. So they're hearing it and they're getting almost like, okay, this is his baseline. So when he yells at us with his baseline, it's no different. It's not like he's extra angry.
That's right. I don't know, for real.
That's smart.
That's very smart.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about the handshake line post game? We're big fans of the handshake line, just as we're watching on TV, just because it's just something else for us to watch after the game's over. But from your perspective,
you guys are just watching, waiting to see if there's going to be a fight. Yep. That's the only reason why you guys are wondering what's going to happen.
Yep.
Right.
Look, listen. The thing I like about it is if you look at the players, all right, the players who are actually the ones out there having the contact. It's like after a boxing match. I've always wondered if the two dudes are beating each other's brains in, right, how they embrace and really hug one another. And it's almost like gladiators going back in the day. It's sort of an honorable thing to compete against an honorable opponent, somebody that's trained really hard, somebody that's been in this fight. But when the bell rings or the buzzer sounds, that contest is over. And I think that, that there should be a handshake line. And I think you should win or lose, congratulate your opponent and victory and defeat. And there's no way we should give up on that. That'd be a bad look. What message are we sending to the young people? Bad message.
Now, when you were at the Horizon League and, Jimmy Collins, people know Coach Pearl, there's been a few things in the past, the Iowa-Illinois thing. You did not shake hands with Jimmy Collins for, I think it was 4 or 5 years that you guys were in the Horizon League together. Was there ever a time when one of you almost shook the other person's hand, or was it just mutually agreed upon, I hate you, you hate me, this isn't happening?
Well, first of all, Jimmy is passed. So in honor of that, I just think we need to recognize that Jimmy Collins was a terrific coach, and he was a great competitor. Our teams at UIC and Milwaukee, we got after each other. And yes, there was absolutely something personal. And yes, there was times when we went through the handshake line and didn't shake each other's hand. I always put my hand out. And it was Coach Collins that chose not to. That was his decision. But I'm telling you, our teams competed and our teams played for championships. So yeah, that wasn't a great look.
Yeah.
I'm not proud of it.
Yeah. Did you guys ever have a chance to speak and kind of squash things, and was it an apology from you, or how did it work out?
Look, both sides aired, and it was part of a kind of a messy process. But we had a very, very positive conversation. And like Deion Thomas, the young man that was most negatively affected by it, that's what I felt bad about, that he kind of got caught in the middle on both sides doing things that shouldn't have been done. And Deion Thomas is about as good a player and as good a person, as good a coach and a leader as there is. And Deion and I have absolutely buried the hatchet.
Could you feel after that incident happened, like, obviously people said Bruce Pearl got kind of blackballed for a while. You were coaching Division II, won a national title Division II. Could you feel that? Could you feel that you were on the outside for a while there?
I did a little bit, but God's got a plan, right? I mean, I truly believe that. And I have been so blessed. I've been coaching. I've been in college basketball since I was 18 years old at Boston College. I don't know how many years I've been a head coach, but it's been a long time now. I mean, I didn't get my first shot till I was 32 in Division II, and I had to go to the D2 route, probably because of what happened with Illinois. But you know what? Things have worked out, man. I cut my teeth. I learned how to coach. I worried about what I could control. And at stops at Southern Indiana, Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Tennessee, and Auburn, they've all been great stops for myself and my family. So whatever, we may not have understood at the time, but you got to make the best of what you got in the moment. And look, that's what you guys have done. And that's what I've tried to do every place I've been.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said earlier, the SEC has some real personalities at coach. Like they've got some of the great ones in college basketball at the time. Is there, if you were to say, like, going through those new handshake lines that you have to do now in the SEC, which coaches give you the best handshakes and which ones give you the blow-bys?
This is an important question.
That is a very important question. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. You got a few guys that'll look you in the eye, and you got a few guys they'll give you the drive-bys. I'll just say this: the best handshake is Rick Barnes. I would say he was the best handshake. The guy that I thought was the best in our business as a coach was Billy Donovan. I thought Billy Donovan was the best coach in our business, in our league for years. And you're right about our league. I mean, our league right now is scary good. And I'm not going to tell you guys how to bet, but I'm just saying this. Look at some of the teams that finished in the middle of our league right now. Some of the teams that are going to be seeded, I don't know, anywhere from 5 to 9 or 10 maybe. I'm just telling you, you do not want to play some of those teams in the NCAA tournament. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no.
You heard it here right now.
Yeah, we should have said it at the start, but we are Muss Bus guys. We are loyal to Muss. We're also loyal to Tom Crean.
Why?
Well, he's a good guy. I know a couple guys on his staff. He's electric. Arkansas is fun. So that's just, I have my allegiance there. I want to let you know beforehand.
I appreciate that up front, but I mean, I lived 4 years in Milwaukee. We had the best run, and you guys got a little of that Midwestern Wisconsin base, right?
Yeah, I love the Horizon League. I think the Horizon League is always like exceptional basketball in terms of people sleep on it, and then you watch it, and they're always playing at a high level.
You're right, but then the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee went into that Horizon League,
right?
And we kind of, I don't want to say we dominated, but we made the tournament. 2 out of 4 years, we got to the Sweet 16. I hope and back in the day, you were nobody from nowhere back then. I hope you were proud of the Panthers.
I mean, they were good. Your teams were very good. You're a great coach. You're a fantastic coach. You're not going to sell me, though. I'm not going to change away
No,
from the
I
must
understand that, but you got to stand. I'm old. You're young. My kids, my players, my son Steven, who's on my staff, like they can't believe that I'm on with you guys. Like there's no way. Like there's no way, Dad, you're on with these guys. So it does hurt my feelings that one of my rivals but I respect your loyalty. I just hope I can earn from this point forward. Well, maybe I can be one of your guys. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we could talk about it. We can find mutual agreement in that Nate Oates is a terrible coach. No, I put you in a bad spot there. All right, so you mentioned your age. Do you know about Auburn Twitter? Do you know how passionate Auburn fans are on Twitter? Auburn basketball fans are the craziest fans in a good way on Twitter. They meme people to death. They if we say one offhand comment about Auburn basketball, it's like World War III in our mentions. You have the most passionate, crazy fan base that always has your back. Have you seen some of these memes? Like Goose Pearl, you just got beat by Goose Pearl. And there's like all these different things that are very, very funny.
I've seen some of them. I don't spend a lot of time on it, but I have seen some of them. But you just made my day. Listen, I can be down the list as one of your favorite coaches, but when you tell me that we've got the most crazy, insane, passionate, wild fan base, those memes and those, the guys on the Twitter bombs, man, look, we good.
Yeah,
we're good. No, I think it's great because it does bring everybody into the conversation. And one of the things that's been fun has been the fact that our fans have traveled, the fact that we're going to have a great following in Tampa. Hope we can stay for a few days by winning some games. And, in this wacky world that we're living in right now with so much, so many real challenges, the war over there in Ukraine and everything that's going on. It's not, these are not the best of times. I mean, it's great that at least you can provide, this opportunity to enjoy the game and enjoy the game more than just on the court and the field, but off it as well, which I think is a lot of fun.
It's very true because it's all in good fun. And I got turned on to it when in January, I think when you played Alabama refused to post the final score. And so I become a de facto guy that everyone goes to when a team doesn't post the final score. So I was trying to pressure him to post it. And I was watching as Auburn fans were going into every tweet that they had and memeing them just constantly. And I was literally lying in bed, laughing my ass off, thinking it was the funniest thing ever. So you have a very, very strong, crazy, rabid, supporting group of fans online for you.
Well, we appreciate that. Look, and I want the kids to have fun. I do. And I've added sometimes to the rivalry. When Alabama came in here in football and wound up winning the last minute and a half of that game after Auburn had won the entire game and we got beat, my basketball player sits right there in the end zone. And so the Alabama football team kind of got up there and they did the crane and I didn't remember that. So when we beat Alabama at Alabama, we had 3 or 4 guys, just all of a sudden did the crane because Alabama football started it.
Yeah.
And I kind of liked it because I thought it just sort of added to the rivalry.
Yes.
I didn't look at it as tremendously unsportsmanlike. I told my guys, I said, look, the next time Alabama beats us, okay, they're going to do the same thing to us. So if you're going to dish it out, you better be able to take it. So after we beat Alabama for the second time, I got the broom out. I swept the court.
Yeah.
Now, I know that may not serve me well the next time we play Alabama, but that's what it's all about. We got to have some fun.
No.
We got to let the kids dance and have fun.
No, I like that. I think most fans of the game like that too, unless you're an Alabama fan. But in a way, that's good for them too because it lights a fire, It gets the fan base more passionate. Next time you guys play, it means more. Tickets are going to sell faster. More people are going to watch it on TV. It's just good for the sport in general to have people be able to show their personality out there. I was actually curious what you thought of some of the comments recently from certain sports journalists. Don't want to name any names, but there have been people that have been idiots that are totally critical of how Jabari Smith is being used late in games that have said some really pointed things about and doubted
Big hoop heads.
and doubted
Yeah.
his ability to really succeed in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
When a lot of these games do come down to the final possession, can he create off the dribble on his own? I'm curious what you would say to those fucking morons out there
who are big basketball guys, some of the top analysts in our game.
Yeah. It's I'm just looking at something here. I don't have it right in front of me, but the last 4 games, as we're coming down the stretch, Jabari's playing better and better and better as the season progresses. Guys, he's 18 years old. The kid, he's 18, and every night he's the best player on the floor. And I think the last 4 or 5 games he's averaged like 27, but he's shot a great percentage. He's not a pig, all right? And he's a great teammate. If he was my point guard, it would be easier to make sure he got the last shot because the ball would be in his hands. He's not. I've got a point guard that I completely trust to be able to either take that last shot or get him that shot. And so it's worked out a few times. It's not worked out a few times. Put it on me. Do not put it on Jabari. He wants the ball. He's not afraid of the moment. And I believe that if he had that shot, he'd make it. Look, he's made big shots down the stretch to put us in position to have the last shot. So that is not Jabari Smith's fault. Go ahead and doubt him.
Yeah.
Go ahead and doubt him. Go ahead. Good luck taking anybody else number 1. I'm just telling you, do not doubt that kid. He is one of the greatest competitors that I've ever coached. He's the best jump shooter I've ever coached, and that's actually at any position. And I coached the 2 best three-point shooters in the history of the SEC, Chris Lofton at Tennessee and Bryce Brown at Auburn. And I'm just telling you. So, I don't pay attention to that. So if they're criticizing Jabari, they shouldn't. They should be criticizing me for not getting my team a better shot.
The haters are on notice.
Yes.
I'll let them know.
What a basketball question, like a nerdy question. What's your favorite play when executed correctly?
Well, I think probably a middle ball screen where I've got the ball in my point guard's hand. I've got Walker Kessler rolling to the rim for a dunk, and I've got Jabari Smith open in one of the corners. To be able to protect the rim and the corner is one of the hardest things to do defensively in basketball, and that's probably what I trust the most.
Okay, I like that answer. I also love just like watching you guys play. I like any team that runs clear backdoor cuts like in their offense because there's something about a perfectly executed backdoor cut that gets someone caught looking, and it's just beautiful to watch.
Well, Pete Carrill would love to hear you say that.
Yeah.
But obviously, that is one of the things that can different. You take advantage of overplay, and that is something that it's only 2 points, but somehow a backdoor 2 points seems to be worth more.
Yeah, it really is like a perfect pick and roll, perfect backdoor cut. There's just something about it where it's like, ooh, that's just great team basketball.
Yep, and oftentimes, what a great coach for getting them back door. When the reality was, it was defense overplaying it. It was the passer making a great pass and the cutter setting it up. So, and having the backside cleared out with other actions. So it takes a lot to get that back door. They're not easy to get, but when they do, when it does work, it's special.
How many out of bounds plays do you have?
We have one set. It's always 1-4 flat. And what I believe in play calling is you make every play look exactly like the other plays, and they're all counters to one another, and you sort of build off them. So we don't have a line of 4. We don't have a box. We don't have a triangle. We don't have an offset box. We have a line of 4 all the time. So that I think that's harder to scout and harder to guard. And there's a lot of variations off of what we do there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's also a very dangerous place to have the ball because even though it's a dead ball set and the guy out of bounds with the ball can't dribble it and he can't shoot it, he can only pass it. I still think it's a great place to have the ball to get some inside out offense. And so it's very much like when the ball goes into the post, what can you do to get a good look with the exception of a post shot?
Yeah.
And so we try to score on our OB and we try to prevent you from scoring on yours.
Yeah. On defense, on an out of bounds play, what are your thoughts on guarding the inbounder?
We put size on the ball. We've been done this for 25, 30 years. Not a lot of teams do it, but we'll press you when you have the ball underneath your own basket, even though it's a dangerous place. and you're one pass away from a great shot, we actually will try to press you and not let you get it in.
What about you mentioned obviously the Tuesday night game that we were at, Wisconsin playing Purdue. What did you think about Greg Gard's decision at the end of the game to not call a timeout with 8 seconds left? Do you lean more towards that, or let the guys play, let your playmakers get down there without the defense being able to get set and hope for the best?
Yeah, I'm for that. I'm for that in the sense that the hardest thing to guard is transition offense. In other words, you've just gotten down and both teams are changing ends of the floor. You don't always have the best matchups. You can't build a wall. No, I'd rather get that ball, get guys down the floor, get some spacing, and get a shot. And there's a chance, you got a chance to get to the rim or get a shot. Better than if we call timeout and set something else up, give them a chance to defend it. And more often than not, that's worked out well for us. So I'm a believer in not calling timeout.
Yeah.
We were talking about this last week on the show about how effective the press is in college basketball, usually because there are only a couple guys on the team that are really outstanding ball handlers. That's changed a little bit in the last 10, 15 years where some of the bigger guys, too, are able to handle the ball. But we were just having a debate. How come no NBA team has used a press effectively, at least in recent memory?
Yeah, it's because I would think a couple things, just incredible size at the rim, the ability to, again, length and size, throw over the top of the press. And it's all you can do in the NBA to get bodies between bodies. And so, again, think about the size of those men. It's the same size of a court and the same playing field. You know, when your little kids are playing Little League, they're playing on these really tiny fields. And as they get older, and then all of a sudden when they get to the high school, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe how huge this high school baseball diamond is. Well, the same size of a high school baseball diamond is the same size of a major league diamond. Same thing. The basketball court's 84, the college court's 94. It's hard to get to the rim with all those men in the lane. And so why take all those bodies out away from putting 5 bodies at that 3-point line?
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I mean, it is fun when we've been talking about it, like, Nolan Richardson, 40 minutes from hell, that kind of basketball. Patino used to do it. It seems like it's harder to do that now, just with, like you said, you don't want to spread it out too much. Guys can shoot threes better, guys can handle better, all those things.
Well, I think the other things have been, the biggest thing is rule changes. The number one thing is it's virtually impossible to trap nowadays by virtue of that cone. In other words, it's like dirty dancing. You're in my space, I'm in your space. We're not allowed to get in each other's space. Well, back when I came from a pressing coach, Dr. Tom Davis and Gary Williams, we pressed all the time. And you'd press up, you get in somebody else's space, and they turn the ball over. That's not a foul on the defense.
Right.
So actually the last several years, they have virtually legislated against full court pressure and trapping. And if you can't trap, it's really no advantage, not much of an advantage to extend your defense.
It's always interesting watching the press, though, in March Madness, because there will be some times when I feel like a coach has identified that the moment might be too big for the other team's point guard or one particular guy that's struggling. And since they're younger kids that might not have as much experience, it's just like, okay, let's turn the pressure up to 15 and see if this guy can handle it in prime time. That's what I like watching about the press. I hope that it continues this year. But yeah,
it will. And let me tell you something. One of the reasons why the press can even be more effective right now is nobody's pressing. So therefore, you get in a game against a team that presses. You've not seen that pressure all year long. We've seen everything else there is to see by this time of the year. And so that's why no lead is safe. And all of a sudden, team can turn up the press. The opponent, not rising to the moment, they've not played it all year long. And do you attack it? Don't you attack it? You're trying to run clock. Man, hey, look, Gary Williams always told me, I don't know what teams would do if they were down, if they didn't have a pressure package in.
Right.
And so we don't press a lot, but we press, but we have a pressure package in for when we need it.
Who do you think screams more, you or Gary Williams?
Who spits more, sweats more?
Screams. Who's louder?
I don't know, but I can't imagine Gary screams more than I do.
Hey, what coach is there any coach that screams more than you?
Buzz Williams will holler a little bit. He'll shout and holler a little bit.
Yeah.
And Buzz will probably he's probably could be the 11th man out there because he's not afraid to get out there and he gets down a stance. He's a big dude. He's probably the best screen setter they got out there at Texas A&M. No, man, we all out there barking and I'm not a whistler. See, the problem is I'm not a whistler. And guys that could whistle, they could get the guy's attention really quickly. Yeah. I'm more of a screamer and a foot stomper.
I would say Danny Hurley probably has you beat. That game you guys played earlier this year, I mean, those are two titans in the screaming, boisterous coaching game.
Yeah, titans, absolutely. Yeah, he learned it from the best. He learned it from his dad.
Yeah.
That whole Hurley crowd, they'll get after you now. Those are tough guys.
Yeah.
Jersey guys. Tough guys.
All right, so we touched a little bit on your past, and we hate the NCAA, so we're usually on the coach's side. I had one thing though that it must suck because you've had some things in your past that people bring up, but one thing you didn't do, but you were there for. You mentioned you were a grad assistant on the Boston College basketball team. It also was when the point shaving thing happened. You had nothing to do with it. Does that suck though that people are like, wait, that's weird. Bruce Pearl was there?
No. Man, there's so much. You worry about what you can control. I was a freshman manager on that team. And, I knew those guys. And, when you look back on it, some of the stuff that went on now made sense. But there's no way you could have known what was going on. Rick Kuhn had actually broken his nose, and he wore a mask for part of that season. But part of the reason why he might have worn a mask was because he didn't want to have people see his facial expressions as they were doing whatever it was that they were doing. Man, it was tragic. And the fact that it was connected to organized crime, it was dangerous. And, that was a very, very, a very difficult time. It was a heartbreaking time for the players and the coaches that kind of went through that to have a couple of those guys. And don't forget, they were kids. So adults pressured those kids. I know those guys look like men when they're out there on the floor. They're still student athletes, guys. You got to remember they're 18, 19 years old. They're impressionable, and a lot of times they're just doing what the adults will have them do. Yeah. So don't lose sight of that.
They're just kids. Yeah. I mean, it's it's one of those things you had nothing to do with. You're like the Forrest Gump of NCAA sanctions, where it's like
just show up in the back.
Yeah, like what the hell? This happened? You were there? Yeah. So I saw it and I was like, that's got to suck for you because, it's like you had nothing to do with it.
Man, if you just made my day again. You compared me to Forrest Gump. Like Forrest Gump's like my favorite. Like
of NCAA sanctions, though, that's probably not the best one.
Well, I mean, but still, wait. You can't take it back.
Yes.
You can't take it back. You just compared me to Forrest Gump.
I got you. You got you. I like to yelling. You're right.
Hey,
you're right.
Life's a box of chocolates.
You're a positive.
You got to get what you take. You can't take that back. You told me Forrest Gump.
Listen, I'm not.
I know what love is.
Musselman's going to listen to this.
Love is.
Yes, Musselman's going to listen to this, so I'm not saying that you're getting closer to being one of my guys, but you're getting closer to being one of my guys.
This is our first date.
Yes.
I'm not expecting to be one of your guys. I mean, this is our first date. I just hope you ask me back. I just hope.
Yes, and I love your positivity because I said Forrest Gump of NCAA sanctions, and you took away from it. You compared me to Forrest Gump.
Absolutely.
But that's awesome.
Counterpoint.
Let me ask you a question. Why did Jenny leave the second time?
Because she
that bothers me to this day right now.
She didn't want to break his heart.
I love Jenny.
She didn't want them to get too close. I think it is my favorite movie of all time. When he cries when he's talking to his mom's grave, I cry every time.
We should make it. We should remake it with Bruce Pearl. That'd be incredible.
But counterpoint, he went.
No, you know what?
He went to Alabama.
You're right. No, you're right. I'm nowhere near Forrest Gump. Man, Forrest Gump had a heart of gold. I'm not worthy of that. You got to take that. You got to take that back.
No, I'm not taking it back. I refuse to take it back. I refuse.
Take it back.
I refuse.
Okay.
Coach, I read a story that when you, I think it was at that same stop at Boston College where the school mascot got sick, couldn't make it to a game, and you raised your hand and you said, "I'll do this one, Coach."
I didn't raise my hand, but when the mascot got sick, our head coach, Dr. Tom Davis, said, "Send the suit with the cheerleaders. I got somebody on the end of my bench that I know can wear it." And so Coach Davis came to me and he said, "Look, Eddie the Eagle got sick. can you do this mascot thing? I mean, I had no mascot training, but I guess really my whole life I've been a mascot. So I guess it's been a lifetime of training. And so I put the suit on. And seriously, it was in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. First round of the NCAA tournament, Boston College, Ball State. And we beat Wake Forest. Anyways, listen. Back in the day, they used to wire mic the baskets so that you could hear some of the chatter. You could hear the sneakers squeak. You could hear the ball right when it hit the rim. I get a ladder out of a closet, and I climb up the ladder behind the basket when Ray McCallum from Ball State shooting a free throw, and I'm flapping my wings. Only problem is I'm hitting the microphone. Bam, bam, bam. The next day, there's a huge meeting with the NCAA that I'm almost going to lose the ability to be the mascot. Like, seriously. So if you think my first run-in with the NCAA was a barbecue, you're wrong. It was when I was a mascot. And by the way, right here on Pardon My Take, that's the first time that's ever come out. That's breaking news.
That is. Oh, I love it. I love it.
You almost got a lifetime suspension before your coaching career even started.
I almost did.
Yeah.
I almost did. That wasn't God's plan. That
Nope.
wasn't his plan.
It's like you almost got a lifetime suspension before all the other times you almost got a lifetime suspension.
For a lifetime.
Yeah, for a lifetime. All right, so I have one
That's why, that's what now I got a lifetime contract.
Yes.
So see, it's all about a lifetime.
And you're a recurring guest on this show, so that means you have to come on whenever we ask. So that's a
Oh, my
lifetime as
gosh.
well. Yeah.
My kids, and the Auburn. By the way, the Auburn Twitter mob right now, they're going batshit crazy right now. 'Cause you invited me.
Yes.
You invited me back.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
No,
take
you're
that one
coming back. No, I'm excited
Okay.
for it. All right, so I have one last question. It's the Roback question. Put in promo code TAKE, roback.com for 20% off your first purchase, RHOBACK.com. Use code TAKE for 20% off your first purchase. All right. The game that you guys won, I think it was against Alabama. Afterwards, you said Auburn's now an everything school. Have you truly been able to feel like, okay, football's king in the South. We all know this. But have you really felt like the shift has started where basketball is really getting a spot at the table here in terms of the SEC?
Well, that's a great question. One of the things that takes place is we don't know who's on the schedule. We don't know who the opponent is. We don't know our enemies. It happens in the United States of America right now. We can't tell our allies from our enemies, and it's sickening. In corporations, in companies, we fight from within. We kill our own instead of understanding who the competition is. I know my competition. My competition is not the women's basketball team or the baseball team or the football team. And so when I say, I really mean we're an everything school. If football is great, that's not going to take away any shine from basketball if basketball is great. And so we need to stop being jealous of another man's success. We need to know who our friends and our family are, and we need to stay together. And we need to know we need to keep our eye. Clint Eastwood said it, keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Yeah, I like it, though. It's a great, bigger lesson of always looking over your shoulder or what the other person is doing in your same corporation, like you said. It's a really bad negative characteristic to have, and it just sucks your own energy.
It sucks your own energy. And then the other thing, too, is by saying that, and let's say you're believing in it, I'm talking to the School of Engineering. I'm talking to our accounting majors. I'm talking to the School of Nursing. You can come to Auburn and be anything you want because because we are an everything school. Suni Lee is competing. She's the world's greatest gymnast, right? She's here as a freshman at Auburn competing to be win a gold medal again next year and be the world's greatest gymnast. Jabari Smith could be the best player in college basketball. He's at Auburn, competing. Tank Bigsby's our running back. Auburn's a great place, and we are an everything school.
Yeah,
I love it. My last question was just about if you have a holdback coach on the sidelines, is there a guy whose specific job it is to make sure you don't stray too far out onto the court? Or you're too close to the ref? Who's that?
I have three. You think one guy can get this job done? No, I have three assistants. I got Wes Flanagan, my son Steven, Chad Pruitt, and the guy at the anchor is Mike Burgomaster. And Mike's he's about 6'7". He'll go north of 3. Okay, he's a big boy. And so he gets to tug on that last rope. But now that I'm no longer wearing a jacket, it's a challenge. You know, he doesn't have anything. So he'll grab my waist and hold on to me there.
Yeah, do you have rules where it's like, okay, if I go out this far, it's time to pull me back? And, I'm sure there are times where you try to get them off you because you want to go out and continue giving a piece of your mind. Is there a rule or a word that you can say? It's like your safe word. When I say this, I mean really get off me?
No, I don't. I don't go for that hold me back stuff. If I want to go, I got to go. A lot of guys want to act like they want to get in a fight and throw a punch. You know, oh, hold me back. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I would have gotten you if you'd held me back. No, if I go that far, then I'm either going to get hit first or I'm going to hit somebody.
You could just say Juwan Howard when you say that, when people want to be held back and then throw a punch. That's what we were all thinking.
The finger in the face.
Coach, thank you so much. We appreciate it. You are a recurring guest now, so we'll absolutely have you back on, and maybe come down and visit you. We love going on the road and seeing different facilities and stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm great. Just don't bring those guys in the rain jackets, okay? We're tired of those rain jacket guys showing up, trying to storm all of our courts. You know, yeah. But look, I love it. I love it, and I appreciate what you guys are doing, and the fact that there are a lot of really positive messages in what you're saying. But the entertainment of the young people, guys, you guys have a voice. You guys have a really voice, and so keep entertaining us, but keep giving those young people that are listening to you those subtle messages about what a great country we live in and what an opportunity we all have to be great in this country. And so much blessing to the two of you.
I love it. And you were scared of the storm chasers. You saw them in Mississippi State. You saw them in Starkville. You're like, uh-oh.
I saw them. I saw them walk in. But one good thing is they didn't get to storm the court, did they?
I know. No. Close. It was very close.
They made all that effort to go to Starkville, Mississippi. You gotta want to go to Starkville to go to Starkville.
Yep.
Right? You gotta really want to get there. And they got there. And they went home.
It was close.
No
overtime. Yeah, it was very close.
No soup for you. Yeah. No soup for you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Coach.
Bruce Pearl was brought to you by Truebill. Truebill is an app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions that you don't need, want, or ones that you simply forgot about. On average, people save up to $720 a year with Truebill. I use Truebill. I have it on my phone. It alerts me when a big purchase goes through. It alerts me when I have a recurring subscription payment, and it tells me the ones that I do and I don't use. It lets me control my spending. I've saved a ton of money using Truebill. That's a fact. I eliminated a bunch of subscriptions that I no longer use. I know that you probably have some of your own. If you're listening to me right now, Truebill will help you out, because companies make subscriptions hard to cancel, and Truebill makes it incredibly simple. You just link your accounts, and Truebill will cancel your unwanted subscriptions in one tap. And you get a Truebill concierge who's there when you need them to cancel unwanted subscriptions, so you don't have to. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at Truebill.com/take. Go right now to Truebill.com/take. It could save you thousands a year. Truebill.com/take. Now here is Atlanta Falcons head coach Arthur Smith.
Okay, we now welcome on very special guest. It is head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, Arthur Smith. Coach, should we do coach or Arthur? Art,
either one. I'm from a huge family. I get called all kind of things.
Well, actually, we can just start there. You have 9 siblings.
That's right.
Can you name them all?
Yeah. I start. It's my oldest sister. My dad had 2 daughters from a previous marriage. My mom had 1. So there was Wendy. Unfortunately, she passed away in 2005. And then Laurie, and then Stacy, who's my mom's daughter. And then they're married. They got married, still married. There's 7 of us. Richard, Kathleen, Molly, myself, Rachel, Sam, and then Cannon.
You're pretty much Sean McVay.
Yeah, that was incredible.
I don't know about that. I don't have the photographic memory Sean's got.
Shit.
Better than Antonio Cromartie. That was good.
Know them all. No, what I really wanted to start with, we got to do it. We got to break the ice.
Yeah.
The beard looks good.
Well, here I kind of copied you.
Okay.
Here's the thing: as a guy that's like a thick alpha male like yourself, it's a good look. So I stole it from you.
2 alphas.
Yeah, no doubt. No offense, but
that's okay. I honestly can't grow facial hair at all.
Yeah,
so I have no room to talk about it. Although I do like, it's almost like the faux mutton chop look.
It is.
Yeah,
and like the longer it grows, the better. Like when I was in London, like I was kind of the vibe I was trying to throw, and I think it worked, but we'll see. But it was a good idea, and so yeah.
And you credited your wife with the idea.
I did, yeah.
does your wife credit us with the idea?
She does.
Okay, because it did
She won't steal
happen
credit.
directly after we roasted you because you had a fat neck.
Yeah, the gobbler was was looking big.
As a guy who has a fat neck, it sucks when it happens.
And if you get a bad angle,
right,
it's all bad. You got
lights
a good
out
angle here. Yeah,
lights out.
Okay,
bad angles, it's over.
But that's a good part about being a big family. Like, even if I don't pay attention to something, it's gonna get blasted my way.
Okay, so that's your way of saying you don't listen, but someone else does.
No,
I like that. That was
no. It's not like hey, I'm too cool, I don't pay attention to it.
Yeah.
But like the good stuff, it gets passed.
Yeah,
on.
you got the alpha back with that move.
Yeah,
They're like, I don't actually listen to you guys. Someone
sort of.
clips it up and sends it.
And
Yeah.
so we got put on this group text by Will Compton, used to play for you in Tennessee, and he just kind of alerted you to. I think he probably alerted you to some of what we were saying, but he was trying to connect us, get on the right foot, and it kind of worked because we started rooting for your beard.
Yes.
Good. Well, I need to grow it out more. I've kind of kept it trim, no pun there, but because like in London, the chops were going. Mm-hmm. So I've kind of kept it, and then I'm thinking maybe if we get hot, I'm gonna switch to the stash.
Yeah, and I think we
nice.
told you maybe hold the play card closer to your face, things like that. There's different ways that you can distract. Maybe start wearing Hawaiian shirts. That's usually my move. It distracts people with all kinds of looks and everything. Maybe a chin strap. Like just a chin strap, not a helmet.
Kind of like yours.
Just a chin strap.
Yeah, exactly. Or just mask up.
I'm going to say this. LaFleur took your style.
He did a little bit, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't
We're both
see
very
anything.
handsome.
Yeah.
No, that's not a shot at Matt. Matt, don't get sensitive there, Matt. But
he will.
I know. Yeah. But I mean, he kind of dabbled in your look.
He dabbled a little bit. I remember the first time that we came to the combine as a group. I think it was actually Sean McVay's first year as a coach, and I was roasting his facial hair because it's too finely manicured. Like the lines are perfect. He gets on there with like a straight razor and probably uses some sort of cutout to. It's a fine line that you got to walk between having a nice beard, but also not looking like you put too much time into your beard.
Yeah, it's hard for me to get in front of the team and say, hey, we're gonna be physical and all that stuff, and then you got this little manicured beard. It wouldn't work for me.
Yeah. Well, that guy did win a Super Bowl.
No, it works.
Just
Like
this
I
year,
said,
yeah.
no, that's not. Again, no shot.
No shot at Sean McVay,
yeah.
but Sean McVay
Love
did
Sean.
come up to us. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it works for him.
Yeah.
Clearly, he's doing something right, and that's. But for me, I don't think it would work.
This is the nitty gritty people want to hear. It's just
Absolutely.
head coaches' beards.
Absolutely, it's kind of going around.
Yeah.
Kyle had one on their playoff run. There was a lot of them going around. Cliff Kingsbury.
Yep. Yep. In their
I think
playoff run.
I think Salah grew one.
Yeah.
He may have copied me.
Yep.
Robert, he may have copied me.
I
but
think he did. He did.
I think he did.
How has the last year been? How is it? Was that weird to be to walk in the first day and be like, okay, this is my team?
Yeah, it was a little strange, but I mean, I think you got to keep perspective. I think that the problem is a lot of guys longer in this business, they get jaded, and you got to take a step back. People would kill to be in our spot, and they're all good problems to have. I mean, that's part of the job, but it's awesome. Glad to be here. Going to year 2, it's good to actually be back in Indy.
Yeah.
I'm always fascinated to hear what coaches do when they take over a team, trying to change the culture. I think Bill Parcells said, change the carpet. That's the first thing that you do. Some guys are like, I'm taking the ping pong table out of the locker room. Some guys put the ping pong table back in. You were a lap guy, right? You had him run laps at one point?
At one point, and that was just because too many false starts. So just one old school something. Change it up.
What else did you do right from the get-go? We were like, okay, we're going to change it. Turn the page, new chapter.
Well, there was a ton of change. I mean, just overall staff turnover. The one thing I didn't want to do is I'm very conscientious. I've been held over before, and obviously it's part of the profession. But I didn't want to come in there because there's been good coaches and players in before, and I think the easy thing to do is I think I got a lot of respect for Dan Quinn. I think he's a hell of a football coach, and I never wanted to look like I was taking a shot at Dan. Some point it's going to end for us all. So I just slowly, here's how we want to build it, and Terry and I kind of had a shared vision, and you just kind of slowly implement your culture.
I have no idea what's going on outside. They're cheering out in the lobby.
I think it's a pep rally for the Rutgers women's basketball.
Oh yeah, because
Big
Big
Ten.
Ten, yep, is here.
I saw a video of you today.
Yeah. I had my
How was
shirt
that?
off. It was okay. That's actually a little tip for you. If you take your shirt off, just paint your breasts as basketballs or footballs.
Yeah, I didn't see the paint on you, though.
Okay, yeah, it came off at the end. You did do one thing when you got hired. You gave an incredibly impassioned speech on social media. I'm gonna play it for you real quick.
Hey, Falcon fans, I'm so excited to be your new head coach. We're so excited, my family and I, to move to Atlanta and get this thing going. Rise up.
Wow. I want to run through a brick wall. Let me
Hey,
play
Falcon
one more
fans,
time.
I'm so
just in case.
excited to be your new head coach.
Yeah, here's the thing
So
about
excited,
that.
my family and I, to move to
I think I always joke. I think they thought like, hey, we're gonna hire, like Terry and I always joke, they're gonna hire these like younger, like they'll be all in it. If that wasn't day one, I never would have done that.
Yeah.
So they tried to get us a lot of selfies, and I was like, oh my god, that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's just not me. Like, maybe they hired the wrong guy to be like this cool, like young, hip. Yeah.
It was like the
football
Lane Kiffin
coach.
hostage video when he was like, "Come to FAU, please."
No way. I bet you'd look good though if they did one of those like ready to get to work videos like they started to do this year. I think Brian Dable had one of those where you just drive up in a car and then you step out of the car in slow motion and walk into the office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a huge one.
Yeah. No, I know. I'll change it up.
Okay.
Maybe I'll start doing selfies after we win.
Yes. Dumb question.
All right.
But little kernel of truth. Arthur Smith hires you. How much of that is because he's just like, I found another Arthur?
Arthur Blank.
Or Arthur Blank
Yeah.
hires Arthur Smith because he's like, oh shit, another Arthur? We don't have, like, there's the aardvark and that's it.
Yeah, I don't know. It probably played into it.
It had to be a little bit,
I
right?
think it probably helped me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he call you Coach Arthur? And
yeah.
you call him
Art?
No, I go Mr. Blank. I'm
Mr.
old
Blank?
school.
That's
Mr.
smart.
Blank. That is smart.
Is your antenna up at all with him for like not to bring up bad memories, but the Cowboys game this year or a game like that? Actually, that might have been in Dallas, but he's a big fan of coming down onto the sidelines sometimes and just like walking behind. Are you ever looking over your shoulder like, oh, is my boss down here?
No, that didn't bother me.
Yeah.
Ever?
No, I mean, like when we were in London, I saw him over there, and we launched one to Pitts, and I saw him. I think I gave him a fist pump on the sideline. Like, you got to embrace it.
Yeah.
It's his team. Like that stuff like that doesn't bother me.
Yeah. All right. So we're at the combine. Can we ask for you to tell us what your crazy combine question is that you ask people?
No, because it's become like just get right to football.
Nothing?
No, I mean all the background work's done. No.
Sam Howell said that he had to shoot on a mini hoop for the Eagles.
Yeah,
Think
man,
about that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
That must be Nick's thing. Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, Nick likes a little sticky stuff.
What about the cat or dog question? You do that one?
No.
Just
about-
like let's talk ball.
Yeah, you just get right to football.
What about how many ping pong balls in a 747?
No. Who asked that one?
I actually don't. I don't know if any.
I think that's like a job interview question.
it's a job interview question.
Do you ask?
Do you guys ask that when you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're asking
how many
you right
do you
now.
think?
Sadly, I should probably know that, like a random fact, but I don't.
Guess.
40,000.
Wrong.
How many?
It's
40,001.
Yeah, 70 million.
No way.
Yeah, see, no one knows the answer to that
Did
question.
you ask Hank that?
Yeah, Hank doesn't know the answer. What do you think, Hank? He's wrong. You can already see it on 5,000 ping pong balls to fill 747. See, that's bad.
I don't think Hank knows what a 747 is.
Yeah,
Do you?
No.
big ass plane. He's gonna find the answer for us.
I got a football question for you.
Yes.
So, do you plan on having Kyle Pitts be a part of your team next year?
Yeah, it's an easy one.
Okay. All right. Next question.
I know where you're going.
Because I saw you said earlier today we're not going to comment on whether or not current players will be part of the team next season. But you just did about Kyle Pitts, so I got you. And you have to
that's
answer
where
the
your
Matt
fake
Ryan
news.
question.
What I said was, like, if you can take an educated guess who's going to be on the team, but if somebody gives you an offer you can't refuse, like, never say never.
Like a horse head in your bed?
Maybe.
You're saying?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about here's a hypothetical offer you can't refuse. How about Montez Sweat? Who else? Who else you want to give up for Matt Ryan?
Let's
You
say
can't do hypothetical. I
Chase
can't.
Young.
See, I can't talk about that.
2 first-round picks for Matt Ryan. That would be an
And
offer
Taylor
you can't
Heineke.
refuse.
See, I'm just going to punt this to Terry. Just put Terry on the spot.
Terry's got to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy for me. I just say, hey, Terry, what would that's a good question for him.
I did like so obviously people are asking about Matt Ryan. We're not going to ask about
Yeah.
Matt Ryan. But you did have a quote that you said that's just absolute nonsense, absolute 100% nonsense. It'll never happen is what you said, right?
About what?
About Matt Ryan and like maybe leaving. Maybe I added the it'll never happen.
I don't remember.
Either way.
Give me the context when that was.
It was someone was asking you about Matt. Oh no, Chris Mortensen was reporting or someone was reporting that
I've
Matt
never
Ryan-
talked to Chris Mortensen.
Okay. So when you say absolute nonsense, can you maybe throw in a rubbish and a garbage and it's not true? Because I liked how strong you were. It was strong conviction.
No, but I think that was in reference to some rumor. I can't remember the context. Again, I don't have the photographic memory.
I'm not a context guy.
Yeah, so
Let's just pretend.
yeah, it was after a game, I believe.
Okay.
And I don't even remember who asked it, but I don't even remember the context of it. It was more some kind of like made up rumor.
I think the context was someone asked, is Matt Ryan going to retire a Falcon? You said that's just absolute nonsense.
No, I don't
absolute
think that was
100%.
it. Hank, fact check him.
All right, I have a football question. Looking at your career, started as defensive quality control, then moved to offense. You don't see that very often. A lot of times guys stay on one side of the ball throughout their entire career. Why did that happen? And obviously I would imagine it's helped a lot.
It's helped a lot. I started as an offensive GA at UNC. And so I was a scouting intern with your Washington Commanders.
Oh, nice. There's another head coach that we can add to the list.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody.
So I was there, and in spring I was doing, I was at the Combine here in 07, just kind of running, grabbing players for interviews and doing all that. And I thought I wanted to get into scouting. And then Joe Gibbs called me in on a Friday before Memorial Day. And he's like, hey, look, I had to make a change on the staff. I've got an opening. You know how to break games down. You're a GA. I was like, yes, sir. And he said, well, we got an opening at defensive quality control. We just need a guy to break it down, and we'll see where it goes. And so I wasn't going to tell him no when Joe asked me that. So I said, yes, sir. And then I was going down to Charlotte for the Coca-Cola 600, and I was like, what did I just get myself into?
Right.
And because it had been a miserable experience as a GA. We were terrible. It was like the worst side of it. We got fired with 4 games to go, and I was like, oh, I'll get into scouting. And then I was on that defensive staff in that 07 season that we made the playoffs. It was Joe's last year, and I just stayed on defense, and I was happy being on defense. And then Mike Munchak switched me over.
Really? And so were you mad that you had to switch back over to offense? Or were you happy?
No, I was happy. I had spent 4 years, 4 different coordinators. And it worked out. And Munch is awesome. So he was like, hey, I'd like to get you back over to the offensive side. I said, well, I want to coordinate. And I love the O-line. It's what I played. But but more times than not, you're not going to be a coordinator as an O-line guy.
And so the other question I had about your career, which is interesting, is that you survived 3 different head coaches with the Titans. That's rare. I feel like guys don't, usually they bring in their own staff. How did that happen? How were you able to stick around through 3 different head coaching changes?
Well, a little bit was kind of timing and luck. When you're a quality control guy, if you're under contract for another year, and I did the same thing in Atlanta. I kept a guy, Danny Breyer, same thing. He was under contract. He was good. Sometimes it's like, hey, you can still do the job. You're not in the, if you're in one of those positions like quarterback coach or you're the coordinator, you're probably gone.
Right.
It just kind of goes with the territory. So I was in those QC roles, and I was cheap, and I was under contract. So I felt like that probably helped me during the Wisenhunt transition. And then I was Mike Mularkey's assistant. So that was just a natural. And then Frabes, that one was all right, this is probably in the road for me here. And I met him down at the Senior Bowl, and he kind of kept me around. And then, so thankful for that.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously have something about you. Because it is true. It's the ability to adapt to different head coaches on your way up is important, I'd imagine.
It is. Yeah, it is. And it teaches you a lot because you've been in a lot of different systems. You've seen how people, do things, and certainly helped me.
Yeah.
Back to 2007, that defense, that was Greg Williams, right?
It was. Yeah.
Dr. Heat running the show. We love Dr. Heat.
Well, we were a lot of cover 2 that year.
Oh,
we
yeah?
had Sean Taylor. We had Laurent Landry back there. We were loaded on defense.
You were running a lot of it was like the angel defense. You'd drop Sean back way into coverage. I remember that game against Brett Favre. It's like keep throwing the ball.
Yeah,
Brett.
he broke the interception record.
Yeah. So we love Greg Williams on this show.
I just saw Greg.
We love his intensity.
He was in the lobby of the Conrad.
Is he
How
really?
drunk?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but I saw him.
Sorry.
We just love how he always dials stuff up, except for that year, I guess. So
yeah, we played Sean and Laurent 30 yards deep.
Yeah.
Sean would still come up in cover 2
awesome.
and make a tackle 1 yard.
that's a very cool way to start. And then so obviously you go to the Titans. Mike Vrabel comes in.
Yeah.
We love Mike. We love
right.
Vrabel.
He's our guy.
He's our guy. So right off the bat, is he just trying to jump into practices with the team? Because I feel at that point he was still he's got a lot to prove physically. He wants everybody to know, and he values mass on a team. I feel like he collects big people and keeps them around. It could be the offensive line, it could be a running back, it could be whoever. He just likes big people. Was he still working out with the team?
I don't remember working out with team, but he's going to do drills with them. Like, that's his favorite thing. When I was coaching the tight ends, he'd come over an individual and, like, he's going to get in the mix. That's, like, his favorite thing to do.
Yeah. And he does. I feels like he does value like tough guys, like
Yeah, he values guys like him.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Kinda grind it out, like.
Yeah. So is it kind of shocking that Taylor Lewan has stuck around for so long?
Where is Taylor? I thought he said he was. Where is he?
I like to just give him shit.
Yeah. Like, how did your feud end with it, Taylor?
Oh, it's still going.
Is it still going?
Yeah. I don't even know why we started a feud because I actually, every time I've hung out with Taylor, I've had a good time. But I just decided, I think it was something Michigan, Wisconsin, that we're just like, we're feuding now. And now Will is my in-between with them. So
Yeah.
I
didn't know if it was like a fake feud. To, like,
Yeah, it's kinda
to get
fake.
Bussin' going. Like, he kind of used
Oh, that? Oh, no.
he kind
They
of used your
copied
clout.
us.
Yeah, to kind of get Bussin'.
So they copied us. They basically swagger jacked us, stole everything
Never
we've
heard
ever
that one.
done. Yeah. And then they were like, what, us? We didn't do that. So, yeah, that did happen.
Yeah.
But Will cops to all of that. And Will, I mean, let's be honest, the football thing's not really working out. So he needs the podcast.
Yeah, Yeah, no.
Yes, I noticed that he didn't reach out to you. He would like publicly lobby Vrabel, always go at people from like the Raiders, but I never saw him reach out to you.
Yeah.
You know what pissed me off about what Will did, and I don't care if it's on air or not. He didn't put me on his Mount Rushmore. I'm like, Will, only like one of the few repeat guests on the bus. And no
they
Mount
do Mount Rushmore? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, really? They do that?
Of course they do.
So, yeah. We
I don't know who's
invented-
in Mount Rushmore first.
We
but I'm gonna guess
invented
it was
the concept of doing Mount Rushmores and being two funny guys in a car that drank coffee.
Yes.
That's
yes.
our property that we invented.
Yeah, well, they stole it.
Who's on the Mount Rushmore of their guests?
I don't remember. Let me pull it up.
That's
You know, I said,
crazy.
Will,
That's
come
fucked up.
You've been on, and you called your dad on it. I remember that episode.
on. Tried to help him out.
Yeah, you did
Look,
the
I'm trying to help
gambling
entrepreneurs
story,
out.
Where your dad, he won what, $27,000 off a $5,000 loan to save the company, to save the world. Actually, is what
I
I
don't know
heard.
if he'd save the world, but
He saved the world in shipping forever. That's what I heard.
I'm gonna pull this up. I'm seeing
Okay.
it on there.
You ever feel the?
Is this bad podcast?
No, it's fine. Go
Is
ahead.
this bad etiquette?
Absolutely not. Go for
27
it.
million ping pong balls in a 747.
God, that was wrong.
You said 40,000. I would never draft you.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Don't.
Shit for brains.
Wait,
there.
are you a dog or are you a cat?
What's that?
Are you a dog or a cat?
Whatever.
Good answer. Okay. No, that's a good answer. It's a dumb question.
Cat dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dumb combine question.
All right. Yeah, you're pulling it up. Let's see the
Pulling
Mount
up, like,
Rushmore.
who is this Mount Rushmore?
It's got to be. If I had to guess, it's
Okay.
Vrabel because they're sucking.
Of course,
up.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course. They don't actually. Listen. What Taylor?
I mean,
and
they got
Will,
like 40. How do you keep calling that Mount Rushmore?
Oh, that's
so many,
It's
and
like
you're not on that
45
one.
people.
Yeah.
That's a joke.
Also, what Taylor and Will have told me privately about Vrabel, like he shouldn't be on their Mount Rushmore because they've bashed him a lot. This is all made up.
That's
He's
breaking
gonna
news.
get me in
Breking
trouble.
news.
So I assume that
I made that up.
You and Vrabel probably still have a pretty good relationship.
Yeah, love
Because you just sent him Julio Jones.
Yeah.
You're just like, here, take whatever you need, coach.
No, that's not really how it went down. But
That was my theory at the time. I was like, I think
there was a lot of conspiracy.
I think
there.
Vrabel got him installed. Now you're a secret agent for the Titans.
Yeah,
for the
like
Falcons.
That's why I love how dumb the internet is sometimes.
Yep, hand up.
Like, hey, hey, they sent me
You're
to
looking
Atlanta.
at it.
Yeah, we are the internet.
Staring at the internet, at the dumb internet.
Well, you guys have been one of the few people that have found ways to monetize
Yeah.
the dumb internet. Most people can't figure it out. They
That's
just,
true. That's true.
that's a huge credit to you guys.
I mean,
what
yeah.
what does make Coach Vrabel like a great coach? Because he's now getting obviously the credit. He won Coach of the Year. He went and bought a horse.
He bought a horse.
Yeah, he bought a horse named it, I think, Coy. Or
Yeah.
Coy, Don't Be Coy. Which
It shouldn't be
Where's
don't
the
be
horse
coy because that means don't be coach of the year.
right, exactly.
And I actually think they should just give you a horse if you win coach of the year. That's the trophy.
that would be sick.
Here's your horse.
Yes, but what does make him like? What is different about him than other guys you've worked with?
They're all different. But the one thing, most good coaches have been around, and this is what I've tried to do. Like, just because you become a head coach, don't try to emulate somebody else. Like, he's one of the most authentic people. You guys know him. Same guy every day. That's all you care. If somebody's a jerk, or be a jerk every day. If somebody, you just don't want the up and down guy. I don't know
Right.
if there's anybody like this in your podcast. I don't know if you deal with anybody like that at Barstool, but he's consistent. He's going to tell you whatever's on his mind, and you appreciate that about him. He's smart as hell. I really enjoyed working with him, and he's one of those things like he's not gonna compromise like his standard.
Right.
And he's funny as hell.
It must have been fun coaching on that Titans team because you had Derrick Henry, so you could did you ever just want to give Derrick Henry the ball every play on one drive and just be like, this is your drive, Derrick?
Yeah, we did that a few times. And that was what was comical during the interview process. Like, people come up with these think they're gonna get you these really hard hitting like gotcha questions, and sitting in an interview and he's like, hey, like their director of analytics, whatever, some souped up title was like, you ran the ball 67% on first down. I'm like, hey, we had Derrick Henry?
Yeah, right.
So
right.
wasn't that hard. Like hand the ball to Derrick and
Right.
a few times he stiff armed 7 people and went 99 yards. So pretty easy play call.
Yeah.
And now you got another great player, Cordarrelle Patterson. We love him. We love guys like that, where it's like, him and Debo, what they're able to do, because you have to be so in lockstep with everything that's going on the team. You have to know everything about multiple positions. And he clearly loves playing football, too. Mm-hmm. So you've got, what do you call him? What's your name for him? Does he have a special, like, position designation?
No, we don't have anything like – that's the problem. I'm not like a guru like some of these other guys in Dresden. I mean, he played multiple spots for us, so that's hard. I mean, we did have a flash package to let him know whether he was going to a certain position or not. That was his self-imposed nickname. Mm-hmm. Like CP's, he's on a big self-promotion, which I don't blame him. Like he's in a big self-promotion mode right now.
He is actually the only guest we've ever had on the show that the chains that he was wearing were so loud that like you could hear them on the interview.
Really?
Yeah,
I think they were hitting the microphone.
The jewelry he had. It was
a
awesome.
while ago.
Yeah, it was our old office in New York.
I remember, I think Big Cat asked him about this because Ty Montgomery was just starting to get carries for the Packers. Mm-hmm. And he was like, do you think that you should start getting the ball more, like, handoffs on offense? Yes. And he was like, yes. And then eventually that's exactly what happened. I think Debo calls himself a wide back, which is a cool term for it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I know. I mean, with the 747 question, this isn't going very
well. No, it's going great.
It's not very impressive.
Has he asked you if he can play defense? Like, just put him at every position?
We did.
Really?
He played free safety. He was a jump ball guy in the Hail Mary play.
Damn, he can do everything.
Yeah.
He can do everything. What was the hardest thing year one transition being a head coach that you didn't see coming? Like the one thing you're like, I really thought this was going to be a little different.
Well, no, it's just like it's just your time during the day. Like you try to you get in a rhythm obviously in the week, and you just try not to let these 5-minute talks become 30 minutes because it just puts you. And then all of a sudden you look down, it's 10 o'clock, and there's a lot of things you need to get done.
He just, for people listening right now, Arthur just pointed to his watch when he said that part.
Did I?
I like your quote that you said about, I think it was about Jalen Mayfield. It was before he was going to get matched up against Fletcher Cox this year. And you said everybody has to get baptized at some point.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good football guy quote. Have you been baptized yet? Metaphorically.
Sure. Like, in what sense?
What was
football?
What was your football baptization?
Probably my freshman year. When I got to North Carolina, we had Julius Peppers and a guy named Ryan Sims. So they were the second 6th pick of the draft. One of the first guys I saw was Pep, and I'm looking there. I'm like, I tried to gain a bunch of weight because I'm coming out of high school, and I'm like, I got to get big. Didn't put on good weight. I was like 290, and I look at this guy. I'm like, he's 290. He looks nothing like me. I'm like, holy crap! Like we're not in the same stratosphere.
Yeah.
And then Ryan Sims. I think the first time I passed set, like, I'm sitting here like high school Harry, grab both my hands and just dumps me. I'm like, holy! I better get my stuff together. Yeah,
baptized.
So that was probably that as a player, as a coach. I mean, there's a million things you're going through. I think the best thing is some of the jobs that you did. And I'll give Greg credit. Like he made me call personnel in on defense. That got me ready to be a play caller because that's an underrated job in the NFL when you have to call the offensive personnel in for the D coordinator to know if you're going to match or what the situation is. So that'd be the other one.
Yeah. So your dad created FedEx. Mm-hmm. Is it annoying? Like people probably bring it up a lot. It's probably annoying to have to deal with questions or people judging you. We're not going to do that. I just had a question about something unrelated to your dad creating FedEx. What are your thoughts on the estate tax? Too high, too low?
I don't have an opinion on it.
We ask every guest this question.
It's literally the first thing we ask.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate the question. I love doing that. Like, I appreciate the question.
Oh, that's a good one. Appreciate the question.
Yeah, great question. There's a lot of good fillers right there. Yeah, I don't have an opinion.
It does probably have to suck a little bit, like that people think that you. I've seen, you've talked about it. Like people think like, oh, he's just got his job because his dad's like, you can't be in the NFL for a decade plus, and everyone be like, oh, his dad owns FedEx. Let's just keep giving him new jobs.
Sure. Yeah. I think a couple things. My favorite thing is when people are like, hey, you play golf, right? And I'm like, no, I don't play golf. Why do you think I play golf? That was my favorite. Or like you get these like asinine questions thinking like you summered someplace. I'm like, no. Like my dad was an old Marine. He kind of pushed my brothers to play football, so we weren't like coddled, soft-spoiled kids, and kind of how he is, And he's the same guy. He's like the most like, basically he's like 3 suits. He's like a Navy suit, a dark gray suit, and he wears the same stuff like over in rotation. Like it's about as simple as I get, and goes to work every day. That's who he is.
Right.
It's comical.
So you've never had like the itch to join the family business of logistics?
Well, I wouldn't really call it a family business anymore.
Yeah, it's a little bit big. It's a former mom and pop shop.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like I said, like
Football's way more fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in your family, who's Shiv and who's like Roman and who's Connor? Just to say for your siblings.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I probably growing up in Memphis, that we weren't one of those like there's no douchebags in my family.
Right.
So,
but if he had to do like,
Roman. Let me throw a couple of my brother-in-laws under the bus. Yeah. Those are easy targets.
They've been eyeing for it. Yeah,
I can see it. Let's throw a couple of my brother-in-law. I won't name them.
Yeah, but you know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are.
Yeah,
You're listening. You know who you are. Yeah.
When you
that's I mean you probably didn't expect that question.
That was actually a very good deflection.
Yeah.
Like you're keeping the close people close.
Yes.
And you've identified the ones that are expendable.
Correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you had to. Yeah.
Correct.
Brother-in-laws are easily. The in-laws are easily.
Yeah.
Have you did you have to work like when you were becoming a head coach? Did you sit down and say, okay, how can I answer these ridiculous, stupid questions? Did you like train yourself on that,
No,
or is
I
that
think
just like experience?
I think it helps, like just watching sports my whole life. You just see some of the dumb things people do over and over again. And I'm like, all right, when I get in that spot, like, you're not going to get in trouble for what you don't say.
Yeah.
So that's here. I'm going to call Rabes out on one because before the first time I went on the amateur Bussin' with the Boys podcast.
Yep.
No offense, Taylor.
Amateur boys.
I love doing that. No offense, but
No offense.
Okay.
Offense.
and they asked me the same question as Rabes about, hey, would I
Cut your dick.
Yeah.
Off. Yeah.
and I just don't answer it. But Braves gave me a big talk, like, hey, make sure you don't say anything stupid, like, blah, blah, blah.
Like cutting your dick off.
And then, ironically, he goes on 2 weeks after. Now, he's going to probably say it's intentional, but.
No, he definitely.
Did you ask him about that?
No, he cucked you. He basically was like, I'm going to go on later and I'm going to give a better interview because I got the dick cutting off measure thing I'm going to do.
That's
Well,
why I
he's the head
told you to
coach.
chill
Yeah,
out.
He basically was like, don't say anything.
He may have.
That's bullshit.
No, I think it's better. I think it's better.
Okay.
Let him have that
So
one.
let's set it straight. You would cut your dick off for a Super Bowl?
I'm not going to answer that.
Would you cut Mike Vrabel's dick off for a Super Bowl?
I'm not going to answer that.
I would.
That's your opinion.
Easy.
Yeah.
That's-
I would definitely.
I
for
feel
Bears
like-
Super Bowl, I'd cut his dick off.
I feel like that's like a fast track to becoming coach of the year is just say, hey, I would cut my dick off.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their own, ways of doing things.
Here's another question that you're definitely not going to answer. When you're on the sidelines, it's a beautiful stadium, Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah.
I love it. Do you ever look up at the roof and be like, that looks like a butthole?
Good question.
Thank you.
Again, everybody's got different opinions.
Yep.
I respect everybody's.
You're really good at this. Damn it, you're really good at this.
I got to ask you a story about your early days.
Yeah.
Hanging out the MAC schools.
Okay.
Is that really how you got your grassroots
Wait, what?
at the MAC schools? Did you hang out at the MAC schools?
Yeah, like going to MAC games, MAC
Oh,
championships.
Mac schools. I
yeah.
thought this was like a D's nuts joke.
No.
I was like, what the fuck?
I'm just trying to hit it down the fairway.
We didn't sleep at all last night. Like I was like, I'm about to get D's nuts. Yeah, I love. I mean, I'm a gambler. I love Tuesday night, Wednesday night Maction the best. Go to some games. Like there's no one in the crowd. Like a lot of the schools you can like Northern Illinois, you can tailgate and then go into the game, and then at halftime go back and tailgate, and then go back into the game. Yeah, and I mean, listen, good quarterbacks, good coaches, they all come out of the MAC.
And that's how I heard about y'all's podcast. We had a tight end named Tim Simich, a big, tall dude, tight end he had in Northern Illinois, and he came in. He had to have been 16 or whatever,
Yeah,
and he had one of those Maction shirts. I'm like, where'd you get that?
the lights, camera, Maction.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And that's how I started listening to the podcast. Got me through a lot of long nights, like breaking film down or going through stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah, those.
But
yeah.
he told me he used to come out there and hang out at the bars. And
Yep. Yeah.
hand out shirts.
We go to Detroit for the MAC championship game. There's a very famous gif of me yelling "Figure it out," which is I think maybe his Northern Illinois team. They lost in the championship game.
Who'd they lose?
Bowling Green, I want to say they were big time. It was Jordan Lynch's team. They're big time favorites. I lost so much money that night, and I was very upset. And actually, thankfully, Hank was under 21 at that time, so he couldn't go to the blackjack tables with me after. But I lost.
Bars?
No,
Did you take Hank to the bars?
No,
Hank said no.
He'd never commit a crime ever,
Okay.
guys,
Making
unless
sure,
it's
guys.
going to jail for Tom Brady, which he did do. That's hilarious, though.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, so
there we go.
that's how I heard about you guys.
The MAC has
your
let us-
grassroots campaign.
and then you told Will and Taylor, and then they copied us.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah,
And
Jesus
that's
Christ. So
I may have
that-
been, yeah.
Lights, camera, action.
Actually, I'm gonna say Dennis Kelly told him about it.
Okay.
Have you guys ever had Dennis on the show?
No, we have not.
Yeah, Dennis was another guy.
Okay.
We got to figure out who the first listener of Part of My Take was.
Yeah. And then
They spread it.
like the coronavirus.
Yeah, our coaching tree.
Yeah.
I got a little bit of coaching advice for you. You can take it or leave it.
you take it.
Have you considered incorporating more downfield laterals?
No.
Like design downfield laterals? Because I think that there's a big opportunity for head coaches. Everyone's scared of turnovers, and I get it. Turnovers can cost you. But if you can figure out a way to do a good designed lateral downfield, I
to
feel
fake the fumble.
well, you like it's like the hook and ladder, but you use it in different parts of the game, different parts of the field where it's not just
We tried to hook and ladder this year. It might have been one of my worst play calls.
Really?
Yeah, I was at the end of the game. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
So
but
like,
it was like, it was bad.
do you ever find yourself? Do you ever get too cute with it?
Sometimes, and you can feel that way.
When was like one of those times? Because that's one of our favorite, like the Chiefs when they get too cute with it on the goal line. It's like just play football. Don't do the like all the misdirection and stuff. They got too cute with it in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, I'm not gonna criticize. I can criticize myself. You got plenty of play calls you can criticize me for, but sometimes it works. Like that's when you know, like you feel like you're on a heater. Like
Right.
going back to that 19 season, like we had the jump pass, Derek. I mean, that was third down. I mean, you're an idiot if that doesn't work. But again, we thought you were playing at the house money, and that's what I loved about Vrabes is like he and I would talk about everything and like we go through it, and it was refreshing because a lot of coaches you get in there, they get really conservative and they're like whatever. And I mean, speaking of Dennis Kelly, he caught a touchdown in the AFC Championship game. I mean, you
Yeah.
look like a moron if those things don't work.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like you're in the zone play calling? Like
Sure.
everything I'm doing is working.
It's like when I'm at the craps table.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. That's got to be an unbelievable feeling.
You play craps?
Yes, I'm more of a blackjack guy.
More of blackjack.
Yeah. Yeah.
You play craps?
I've learned how to play craps probably 5 times, but it's always when I'm drunk, and then I wake up the next day and I don't remember how to play craps anymore. So I have the memory somewhere. I'm waiting for Elon Musk to figure out that whole brain chip thing, but it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, sometimes as a play caller though, you do feel like you're in rhythm.
Yeah, right. Like it just feels like everything you touch is just working and everything.
Yeah, and then when it doesn't, you're just like,
That's gotta suck.
Yeah.
That's gotta suck.
What about setting up your coaching staff? I've always wondered about coaches if they have a guy whose only job is to be really good at watching football on TV, to tell them what plays to challenge and what not to.
everybody's got a guy now like that goes up there, and some of them become obvious that that like it's not worth challenging. But yeah, I think that's a pretty standard issue now. That's the one thing about the NFL is like once somebody has a good idea, everybody copies it.
Yeah.
Like that's the always thing you're fighting in the NFL is groupthink. Like somebody has a good idea, it works for some team, and they think, oh, that's the secret ingredient. It's like an organ in football. Everybody's like, I want to be the organ of the South. I'll be the
Right.
organ of the East. It's like, well, you better get good players and recruit well and have a good program, and not your 10 helmets aren't going to be the difference.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
What about punting? Has your stance on punting evolved over the years? Like, have you found yourself to be more in favor of going for it or more conservative?
I look at it kind of what happened in baseball, and I'll steal this from Theo Epstein, like in that book after he talked about this in that book they talked about the Cubs way. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you read that. Do you read books?
I do
Don't
not
look
read
like a
books.
guy
We had Theo Epstein on the show though.
I've listened
How was
to
he on
several
the show?
books.
Great.
Was he?
Great. He didn't get it though. We did. Well, we'll do it with you. Okay, we'll do it with you. But go ahead. Keep saying.
But he basically said like everybody was hiring the same guys at MIT or whatever, Harvard, Yale, where everybody kind of became like flat, the analytics. So a little bit like it became, I think even Mike Tomlin said this, at some point it became obvious, like your team that just get ready to play 4th and 2 or 4th and 1.
Right.
So there's no like, it's not like, hey, you really risked it there. It's like if you don't go for 4th and 1, it's like that's what everybody's doing.
Right.
Get it? Like, so it's not like, to me, those aren't the hard decisions anymore. It's just become like the norm.
Right. Right.
It could be like, and you see it all over the league. So.
Yeah, we had Theo on, and I love Theo, but we used to do an old bit where we would pretend to read mean tweets, and we would just say what they were wearing at the time. Like, Arthur Smith's a fucking idiot. I can't believe he's wearing this shirt and he thinks it's good. Isn't his dad worth $5 billion? Like that. And
Right.
he didn't realize that we were making it up as we went. So we kind of owned Theo Epstein, who's like the smartest guy ever.
Sometimes you can be too smart.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. You don't realize the joke. Yeah,
What happens if you're a football coach and you're too smart? Is that when you get too cute with it?
yeah.
I think there's a correlation between being too cute and too smart.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good stat.
All right, I have one last question. It's the Roback question. Use code TAKE on roback.com for 20% off your first purchase. RHOBACK.com, code TAKE. They make Q-zips, hoodies for golf guys like yourself. It's great gear. My last question is, how many light posts are there in the island of Manhattan? Street lights.
Yeah, I don't care.
This is going to be whether
It's
we
like a
draft
ping
you or
pong.
not.
It's like a ping.
Yeah, no, it is. So what do you think?
Well, like if you're going to rely on the light post question around Manhattan, like you just want me to throw a number out there.
Yeah.
Are they? Let me ask you this: how many ones that are like energy efficient?
No,
You're a big environmental guy, right?
I am a huge environmental guy.
So you're breaking down how many are energy efficient, or the one just overall?
Overall.
On the island of Manhattan.
On the island of Manhattan. Look it up, Hank.
Look it up. Well, you already told me. I didn't get to guess.
He was going to guess 300,000.
He literally was about to say 300,000.
If you can, I was buying time to think of like
300,000.
Yeah.
You were counting up in your head 300,000.
What about this other standard interview question? What would you say is your biggest weakness?
Ooh.
I always love those questions. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just gonna like steal that. I was with Kenny Powers, like tireless work ethic.
Yeah. Your biggest weakness is you think that. No, I'm actually. You know what? I'm not gonna say what I was about to say. I was gonna say something very mean, and I'm not gonna say it.
It wouldn't matter.
I'll write it down, and then you can read it and react.
All right.
Okay.
All
You have to ask one last question.
Okay. Are you happy that Sean Payton's gone?
I like Sean, so I don't think you're happy. I mean, their defense is still going to be a pain. But Sean's a great coach. So I don't know. It's like when they asked me, like I got that question like 500 times yesterday.
Sorry.
About the division. So it's a tough division. It's always going to be. So it's a subjective opinion. Like, do I really think Will and Taylor stole your concept?
Now, credit to me. I was because I like you and you're a listener, so I didn't do that.
No, I appreciate it.
Yeah, that was
but
nice of me.
I understand your angst towards those guys. Mm-hmm. I'd be pissed too.
Now he's making it up. Now I'm going to say it.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Great.
I appreciate that.
Taylor Heineke and Terry McLaurin for Matt Ryan.
Again, I can't talk about other players. I got a legit question. So how do you guys think how do you keep it fresh? You've been doing it 6 years.
Yeah. So I would say the number one thing is sports. Like sports are the greatest reality show on earth. So like if we didn't have sports to talk about and new sports and new storylines, it would be very hard. I don't know how people keep it fresh when they just riff off nothing. You know what I mean? Like comedians who are exceptional. I think sports is what every night is something different. You know what I mean?
You ever get tired if you go out that people bother you and been like they expect you to be funny?
No, I wouldn't say that. We were just talking to Duncan Robinson a couple days ago from the Heat, and he kind of asked us about that. And I think the reality is it's a good problem to have if somebody's coming up to you and want to shake your hand or say hey and take a picture, because what we're doing is somehow resonating with their life in a way. They're using us as a quick escape, or they feel a connection to us, like they're part of the show. And so I just always remind myself, this is much better than nobody caring at all.
Yeah, it's like that's the thing in sports. Like you get people they get so upset. It's like, dude, you're lucky people care.
Yeah.
You wouldn't make the money you make.
Yeah.
It's insane. When people act like a victim, dude, you know what you signed up for. If you don't want that, go coach high school ball.
Yeah.
So when you're coaching a player, is it true? I've always heard it's when they stop yelling at you that you've got a problem.
It's like anything. When you don't want anybody to become apathetic.
Yeah.
That's the thing I think most people would fear is whether you're in the entertainment or sports world, you don't want the people to speak, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Which sibling of yours do you think your dad's become apathetic towards?
Let me see, who can I get? Problem is somebody will hear it one day and
then it'll start a whole thing, media storm, and then what
somebody's gonna get butt hurt.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah.
Not gonna answer that.
Are you going to be in any more movies?
Maybe. I've always wanted to be an extra in like a bar fight scene.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Okay.
Like actually throwing punches or getting punched?
Like just like a Roadhouse. Like,
Yeah.
you ever seen Roadhouse?
Greatest movie ever.
Yeah.
All time American.
Pain don't hurt, right?
Yeah.
Or yeah, there's so many good one-liners.
Where did Dalton get his degree from, and what was the degree?
Great question. How the fuck did I know that?
NYU philosophy.
My favorite is the medical thing when they're reading his like medical report.
Yeah.
It's like 7 gunshot wounds, like 55 staples.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
My
it's great.
favorite is the guy when he gets in the fight and the guy grabs him from behind. He says, "I fuck guys like you in prison." I was like, I don't know what that. What is that?
What would you say if you got in a fight and somebody said it to you?
I'd probably say I would probably be like, "Oh yeah, try me," and then I'd bend over.
Yeah, you got their own opinions.
Just say like, I don't think you're man enough.
Yeah, no, you can't handle this. All right, Arthur Smith, thank you so much. We appreciate it, man.
Arthur Smith was brought to you by Roback. The guys over at Roback have been sending us their performance polos, hoodies, and Q-zips for a while. I love them. I wear them all the time. If you see me wearing a collared shirt, I can almost guarantee you it's a Roback. I think it's like 90% of my polo selection that I own right now is from Roback. They've got great designs. It's almost Masters season. I've got my Azalea Roback polo that they sent me last year. It's perfect. They've got cool designs, incredible feel too, and they've got really good Q-zips, perfect for the golf course. They've got stuff you can wear to work, stuff you can wear at home. Incredible hoodies, super soft. I see them all the time, and the best part about wearing a Roback hoodie is when you see someone else wearing one, you just give them that subtle little nod because you know that they get it. The performance hoodies are super soft and stretchy, and the Q-zips are versatile, perfect for the office, and the polos are the only polos we wear. You can't find a better looking, better feeling performance polo. Golf season's almost here. Pick up the performance polos in time. Their prints somehow keep getting better and better, just quality all around. Use code TAKE on Roback.com for a generous 20% off your first purchase. That's a huge discount. 20% off when you go to RHOBACK.com. Get 20% off all polos, Q-zips, and hoodies with promo code TAKE.
All right, let's finish up. We got Fyre Fest of the week, then we'll send you on our way. Brackets on Monday, not just Billy's, the real bracket. John Rothstein in studio. We're going to try to get him to taste either some wine or coffee because he loves to talk about how he's never had either.
This is March.
Hank.
This is bad. This is a bad one.
Uh-oh.
So, as you guys know, we documented it. It was a PMTV episode. You guys were stars of it. My project, my passion project, 2-Man Tuesdays, took 9 years to make, produce, film, edit, premiere, put it out on Twitter.
Everyone loved it.
Pinned it because I was so proud of it. And I think I had like 800,000 views. The other night. No big deal. Yeah, just casual.
Just doing your job.
Yeah, it felt good. You work on something that hard over that long of a period and to see, the results pay off.
It's like the Sistine Chapel.
Exactly. So the other night, I was super lazy, and I'm sure you guys do this sometimes where you're just on your phone, but you're trying to do everything with one hand. Mm-hmm. Like you're trying to, tweet, type, whatever. Mm-hmm. And this was two or 3 days ago.
That's how one uses a phone.
And but usually if I'm actively doing it, I use both hands.
Right.
But I was lying on my couch.
There's the difference between one hand is casual, 2 hands is like, you're getting.
It's like lazy. Like I do it. I'm like, I should be
Yes.
using 2 hands, but I'm just like lazy.
Yes.
And I was on my couch, was looking up, and I went to my Twitter profile, and I was like, oh, this tweet is still pinned. Like it's March. I'm just gonna unpin it. For whatever reason, when you click the unpin, there's 3 dots. You click unpin, and the first thing right under it is delete. And before I could even think about it, like I clicked delete accidentally.
Jesus Christ, Hank.
And then I was sitting there, like my heart dropped. I was just sitting there, like I can't undo this.
How? How did you do this?
You had
Hank?
to confirm that you deleted it too.
No.
It just deletes it.
It just deletes it.
So now we have to wait for February 22nd, 2222.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Wait, I'm gonna check.
Jake, can you put that in your calendar, please? Thank you.
22222222.
Yes.
Okay.
February 22nd, 2222.
If I'm not around,
No, put it in your calendar.
Don't say that,
Don't
Jay.
say that. You don't know. Future, anything could happen.
You're the healthiest of all
Can't
of
you
us.
tweet deck that?
You can schedule the tweet.
Schedule it to tweet on 2222.
Oh, yeah, you should.
Yeah. And just, I mean,
Yes, Hank.
just put it in your will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that can help my family for years to come.
Right. We always have this tweet. There's money in the banana stand. There's
All right,
money
I
in the
found it.
two-man.
It's a
tweet.
Friday.
Oh, okay.
Fuck.
That sucks.
Yeah, that's too bad.
So what about?
you know what?
all right,
Hopefully-
damn it. That
I don't
really
I don't
ruins
know
it.
if it's ever gonna be. Yeah, it's brutal. I was being lazy. I was kind of tired, and then all of a sudden I was wide awake, sitting up, like, oh my god.
What about
I thought about contacting Twitter, but I don't know if that would help.
Okay, so what if it's February 22nd,
You're trying
then
to make compromises for something that's like you can't.
2122?
No,
Like,
it's not the same.
If the
But it's
Sistine
still-
Chapel
but
burned
it's
down,
still-
PFT, to your point earlier, if the Sistine Chapel burned down,
Yeah.
you could rebuild it however you wanted
Just
to.
don't make jokes while it's on fire.
but it wouldn't
Twitter
be.
will get mad at you.
It wouldn't be the Sistine Chapel.
Damn, Hank. I'm sorry. That's actually brutal.
I know.
In a way, it's kind of beautiful.
I've thought about spin zoning like that, but it's really not. It's
No,
just,
it's tragic. It's,
yeah.
No,
it's tragic.
I think it's beautiful. Like, if you now everybody, you can't just spread it around now. It's a moment in time that we were all a part of, and those that know will know. Those that don't, they don't get it.
tragic.
Yeah, it's tough. And yeah, if you work at Twitter and maybe you can help me out, hit me up.
Yeah.
The
I'm not
two-man
giving up
video,
hope yet.
Yeah. Okay. All
The
right.
two-man video was very Christ-like in a way.
Yeah.
And as its father, you sacrificed it.
Well, the two man's dead. We killed the two man.
But maybe he might be. How do people know if he's dead? The video doesn't
Well, no,
exist.
it's literally dead because you killed it.
But prove it.
You just said it on this podcast. That's now in everyone's ear.
But that if you don't have video proof, what do you have?
Well, we actually have it on YouTube as well. So we have it. You said it on YouTube as well. So
True.
we have video proof.
I guess.
That.
Wait, what day did you? Was this yesterday?
It was like 2 or 3 days ago.
So it was
Tuesday?
Tuesday. The two man's revenge.
Was it a Tuesday?
The two man came
Clap
back.
back. He got your ass. That's amazing. Now that is perfect.
I'm sorry.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it's haunting me.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know how we follow that Fyre Fest.
Yeah,
PFT.
I mean, what I'm gonna say pales in comparison to that. My landlord jacked up my rent by like $1,500 a month. So now
Sheesh.
I got to look for a new place. Yeah, welcome to New York. And I hit him back.
I feel like you've had some brutal
Yeah.
living experiences in New York.
No, because every time I talk about, I never talk about my apartment unless it's a Fyre Fest, basically.
Yeah.
And so
But there's been a lot.
there have been a few, and
No elevator.
the elevator was an issue.
Water falling through your ceiling.
The mouse.
Oh,
And I brought what?
there's
No,
an
I'm not moving
apartment
in with you.
open.
No,
My
Next
bill
to
with
you.
me.
no, I'm not
Mitzi.
moving in with you.
I'm just saying.
Beautiful.
How is it? Send me some pictures of it. But
Second floor.
I might be looking for a new spot soon, and it's not.
I would not move.
I don't want. I'm considering just paying the
Yeah.
increase because moving is
You
such
just-
a pain in the dick.
You know what you got to do is you got to do like a back of the napkin calculation of like, well, if you pay movers and also you got to buy new stuff and you got to do the first month's deposit and all that stuff.
Yep.
You can definitely twist the logic around. Like it's very similar to when appropriate for right now, like when March comes around and you get cold in March Madness and you're like, well, I didn't go out and I haven't bought new shoes recently, and you can just figure out a way to mentally get around it.
Yeah, like we're gonna be watching all these games at bars.
Yeah.
On Barstool's dime.
Yeah, right.
So we're saving money on.
Yeah,
food.
there you go. Yeah, we're already there.
Yeah, already there.
You're
So
gonna be
basically,
flying there back and forth. Yeah,
I'm already up.
Ubers. Yeah,
But-
we'll come in and eat like Billy went last Sunday when we recorded at 3:00 and Billy texted the group and was like, "Yo, anyone trying to eat?"
I think he said, anybody want to get down on a big order?
Yeah, it's like, well, we're literally doing it in between lunch and dinner.
I don't know. I'm thinking part of me is like the principle of it because I like a good deal. Too,
Yeah.
like I've got that deal streak
just-
in me. So I hit him back and I was like, hey, let's do the prorated thing like you did last time. You tried to jack up the rent on me, and they just bent over for me and let me have my way. So I figured they'd be a pushover again.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, I've got a mouse that I tried to kill with marijuana that keeps showing up. I've got a ceiling that leaks all the time, and then I've got an elevator that my dead dog couldn't even use when it was trying to go outside to use the bathroom. Really tugged on their heartstrings, and they were like, nope, the pandemic's over, is what they told me.
Oh.
So the price is what they pulled the COVID card on me.
Just try to get like $100 off.
That would do
Yeah,
it. Honestly,
yeah.
I'll be like, hey, can I just get just
$100
any discount that you want?
Or no, you should just be like, let me get $100 off the monthly rent, and I'll pay a one-time deposit of $1,200.
Yeah.
Because it is true. You like mentally, you just want You just want to be able to be like, all right, I walked away from this feeling okay.
It's just on principle that I would like to win this negotiation somehow. But
yes.
I might move, I might not. I don't know. You're
I
probably
wish,
right.
yeah.
I've been pushing for not moving because I do like my apartment a lot. It's pretty nice.
Moving is
despite
the
all
worst.
the issues. Moving is just trash.
Yeah. My Fyre Fest is a pre-Fyre Fest. I'm running hot in gambling right now, and it's scary because I know it's coming down. I'm gonna fall on my face very soon. Also, my son is now into Mickey Mouse, and that fucking thing, watching Mickey Mouse every night it's tough.
I didn't even know that they were doing Mickey Mouse cartoons anymore.
Oh yeah, and there's just so many episodes. It's MICKEYMOUSE. It's anything with a song that's repetitive will just drive you insane.
Yeah.
And we had like a 1 week stretch where we watched Moana, and that movie is awesome. I don't know if anyone's seen Moana with The Rock. It's a legitimately incredible movie. Now I'm at the point.
Good music too.
Yeah, now I'm at the point where it's like every night. It's
I don't
like,
know
what do you
why
want
I've
to
seen
watch? Like, we watch a little something before we go up to bed, and he's just like, I'm like, how about Moana? And he's like, nah, Mickey Mouse. Like, fuck, man, seriously. So that sucks.
Can you try to get him into Trolls? The Trolls soundtrack is a banger.
No, I don't think so.
It really is.
Yeah, I need a respite from Mickey Mouse. It's killing me slowly.
Land Before Time.
Land Before Time's good.
Think those will hold up?
I missed the Cars
it's
Day.
dinosaur propaganda.
Also, I'm finding out very quickly that
Try to think
life-
of what I watched when I was a kid.
life for me is
Teletubbies.
just. Oh no, life for me is just spending money on my kids for them to like change their interests a week later. I have, conservatively speaking, bought him he has 60 different cars from the Cars franchise. Doesn't care about it anymore. So, my fucking house is a parking lot. Billy.
So I like to run with my dog, and I've trained my dog.
What's your dog's name?
Whitey. So I
Oh.
trained my dog. It's like Whitey Ford. It's like.
Oh, I thought it was Whitey,
Like the
Power,
white,
Whitey Power.
No,
like the
relax.
white Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
Anyway, so we were running, and
Billy's the white Kirk Cousins.
yeah.
You are-
He is.
you are
the
yeah.
white
Yes,
Kirk Cousins.
so we were running, and in the beginning of the run, it's more warm up stuff like high knees, butt kicks, while he sniffs everything, just get the stretches going, and then it's a 2 mile run, and then we hit a stride and we get going, and we're pretty cool about it. Keep a good pace.
Leash or no leash?
Leash wrapped. There's a leash around the body to keep him leashed, but it's he's got a little length on it, so it's we're basically running without a leash. So then when we hit the last half mile of the run,
Like the
he
last
just-
quarter of the half mile.
yeah, half to quarter of the mile.
Okay.
He just starts going hard as fuck because he knows he's going home soon, and that's like a literal quarter mile sprint, and I just straight up, you can't stop because he's running so fast, and you can't pull up on him, so you're just huffing. It's like getting on one of those super fast treadmills to test your high speed, and so then I got to the house and just started projectile vomiting because I was so gassed, and my favorite neighborhood homeless guy was there to once again say, "Yo, dude, you cool?"
So he thinks you're just really fucked up.
Yeah, exactly.
For many
He's
different
just
reasons.
he's just always there whenever.
At
something
your
bad
worst.
happens.
Is always there.
I really wish
Yeah,
that somebody
yeah.
had
Leave him though.
that somebody had a video of you just projectile puking on your run.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
sometimes
should.
like,
Why didn't you
someone's
take
gonna-
your phone out?
Because I was puking.
Rats. That's a good Fyre Fest, though. I mean, credit to you for running with your dog.
It's
White.
cutting season.
Yes. Yeah, it is cutting season. Jake, finish us up.
Yeah, so in a few weeks, we'll be down in New Orleans for the Final Four. And what I did was I went to a website to try to apply for media credentials, and I missed the deadline.
Oh, Jake.
So I emailed the guy saying, I'm a real journalist. Please, is there any way we can make this happen? Waiting to hear back on the green light, but I'm nervous.
Come
I was gonna say,
on.
if you were
someone,
a real
all right,
journalist, you would have applied earlier.
Yeah,
I didn't know the
Who's the who,
deadline.
who's giving it? NCAA?
Yeah.
All right, we've
I
never
haven't
said
said
anything
too many-
bad about the NCAA.
I just said the Bellarmine thing is a
All
bad
right,
decision. That's
so-
the only thing I've ever said bad about them.
there's got to be. There's got to
That's
be.
pretty significant.
That is pretty significant. There's got to be a AWL is listening right now, who works with the NCAA, who can help us get all the boys credentialed.
Yeah.
Come on.
Why not?
The thing about media credentials is you have to apply 2 months ahead of
That's
the
the
event.
thing,
It's crazy.
well,
yeah.
it's
I remember when
smart.
I used
Learn
to
the
go
hard way.
I used to go to the Super Bowl in a former life, and when I do that, I would have to apply in like November, and I would miss it every single time. So I just have to sneak in.
Yeah, but it's smart because it's essentially like, can we just get all the fake journalists out of the way by just missing this?
But
deadline?
I'm real, and I
That's
deserve
right,
to be
but you
there.
missed
You
the
are real.
deadline.
No,
You made a mistake.
Hey, you
Hank,
missed the deadline.
don't wave your hand like Jake's real.
We're real too, so let us all in. We'll
Jake-
give you great coverage. And Jake agrees. Like if we can't get credentialed, you're not going to get credentialed.
What if they hear about the stunt you pulled at the NFL one?
Oh,
Do they
What are you
talk?
talking about?
That was
You
Billy's
did
fault.
illegally.
I also think that was legal because on Friday,
You were
or
wearing a
there
suit.
were fans there. So I don't know if I needed to go around
Sounds
the curtain.
illegal to me.
Wait, but you went through a curtain and you snuck in.
I don't know if I've actually snuck in.
I pushed him through the curtain.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so it's
then
Billy's
you were
fault.
forced through.
So now, should we do some sort of like hostage situation? Like, should we threaten them if they don't credential our darling Jake at least?
Yeah. Let's
I just
threaten
would
him.
love to cover my first ever Final Four.
Oh, okay. All right, you know what? That's a great. Let's make that happen.
I've been
someone
credentialed at
listening
every
right
round
now,
except the Final Four.
Someone
before.
listening right now, let's make a boy's dream come true. All right? Let's get this guy some fucking credentials, please.
Yes. Please, NCAA. I'm a
Please,
good
NCAA.
person.
We're begging you.
I apologize for being late, but
Just Jake.
give me a chance.
Yeah, Jake is. Jake. He will not like. Jake has been credentialed at things, and we've tried to get him to ask questions that are very, very bad, and he will not do it.
Right, because I want
He's
to keep getting
uncorruptible.
credentialed at
Right,
these things.
right.
So-
You got to tug on their heartstrings. Like it's almost a make-a-wish thing. Like we have
it's Make-A-Wish.
our darling Jake is
Yeah.
is currently in recovery from nose spray addiction.
No,
He's
it's
been
Make-A-Wish.
cold turkey off the Afrin for how many months, Jake?
It's been about a year. Or no, what happened a few months ago?
Yeah, you
relapse.
relapsed.
But now you're good.
But he's
Yeah.
clean.
You've been off Afrin for 2 months, and we want to reward him. He's our special boy.
Yeah, I would love to be credentialed in New Orleans next month.
Yeah, and if
Final
you
Four.
don't get it, he's gonna die. So just give him the credentials.
Just threaten him, Jake. Be like, you're going to get back on the nose spray if you don't
yeah,
get in.
he's gonna die
from all the
We're gonna
stress.
have John
Yeah,
Cena
so-
back on.
Please allow me to do this. It would be awesome.
Yeah, make a wish. All right, let's do. Oh, Bubba, you got
Wait,
one?
Yeah, I
You
do.
get hit by a car?
No, this might be worse. Actually.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's
Got hit
gonna
by
be
2 cars.
Worse than the 2-man?
It could be.
Jesus.
Um, Our friend John Rothstein. This is gonna be one for him too. Kind of relates to the tourney. My favorite place to watch it. Barcoastal is closing.
What?
Yeah, I got intel about it.
Oh my God! Does he
I'm
know?
Is this breaking news?
I don't know if he knows.
Is this breaking news?
I have some sources about it.
Is
I
that
don't know if
public
he has
information,
sources.
though?
I'm not sure.
How much
Can
more
we
time do
bleep
we
this
have?
out? Can we bleep this out and break it to him on Sunday?
Yeah,
All right.
we can just cut it.
Yeah,
and
let's-
then tell him on Sunday.
Yeah, that would be better.
Okay.
I feel
All
like
right.
there's
Yeah.
a chance he doesn't
Never
know. He's so locked in all
Yeah,
these
no, he
games.
doesn't know. This will be.
Yeah.
I want to watch him crumble.
Okay.
It is on Twitter,
Oh,
but
all right. Let's keep it in. Fuck it.
All right.
We'll watch him crumble still.
You know what we can just tell him, because he keeps asking us to go like to different events with him at Barcoastal. Let's just tell him September, opening weekend of NFL.
We're in.
It's a date. We're gonna
We're
go to
in.
Barcoastal.
John, we're in. It's gonna be incredible. That's tragic.
It is.
I gotta go one time.
They've got good wings there.
It's closing like this week.
Oh,
I'm pretty
well,
sure.
I
So you
won't
probably
go.
won't.
I never went. All right,
Carries
he
way.
never had a cup of coffee. I never went to Barcoastal. It's fair. All right, numbers.
2.
6-9.
22.
17.
25.
No, 71. Barcoastal closing.
76 and 54 are
6.
out.
The epitome of brutality.
Don't get up.
11.
Second time.
Grapefruit-sized spiders are going to be invading the East Coast, flying in parachutes. They're called Joro spiders, and if you look it up on YouTube, there's a bunch of really funny rednecks shooting them with guns, and it's very funny. Coley, please post my blog about the Georgians shooting the spiders.
Love you guys.
Do it, Coley.